All right, guys. So we are live. Sorry about that. We actually tuned in and we didn't go live. We had some technical difficulties. Our intern, Tom Chris, actually is still learning. So please forgive him.
I'm the one who pointed this out.
Blaming on-
I'm the one who pointed this out.
He's the one who found the problem. He
that
gets
had
blamed.
some mess ups here.
What
So,
lies?
in any case, he is. Oh, hold on one second there. Our intern, Tom Chris. All right. So we are actually live now. So I hope everyone can see us. Sorry for the technical difficulties again. Learning curve here on YouTube, and our new intern still trying to get used to everything. But in any case, we were talking about briefly, and we didn't go over too much. All we did is introduce ourselves. And all I really wanted to do for the guys that are just tuning into YouTube really quick is I wanted to make sure that everyone knows that this guy and this guy are the originators of the Red Rebel Army of Chicago Sports Crunch Radio. Sammy the Bull to my left.
What's up, guys? Glad to be here.
JackMann, the professor of Chicago Sports to my right.
Hey, guys. Happy
and
to
then
be
we
here
just threw Tom Chris in the corner because he just messed up the live feed. So
what are you talking about?
We had to throw him in the
corner. You got the best looking guy in the corner.
We were just too upset that he just messed everything up for us. So what we're going to basically be going over, guys, is, and the chat room is up. Thank you, Scotty. You're on there. I see you. Thank you. But I want to just make sure we go over what we're going to talk about today. We're going to go over the Super Bowl a lot. Super Bowl is going to be huge this Sunday, and we will be talking a lot about the Patriots and the Eagles. We talked about the Super Bowl commercials earlier. I'm not going to talk about that stuff a little bit later. I might maybe later, not now, not go into it. We're going to talk about the NBA. We're going to talk about the Mirotic trade. We're going to talk about the Bulls' progress and the state of how they're playing right now. We're going to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers mess with LeBron James, with Kevin Love, with IT, this whole debacle that's happening in Cleveland. And now LeBron wants to go to Golden State per se. Talked about how much I loved Stephen A. Smith, and he's a brother from another mother. And we're going to go over boxing, and JackMann's got some baseball trivia that he's going to go over as well too. So we'll go over a lot. So I was just jumping into how you guys can catch us, how you guys can see us, and that's when we found out that we had some technical difficulties. So that's what I'm going to jump into right now. So obviously right here on YouTube is where you guys can catch us. Every Friday, 7 p.m., we'll be doing Chicago Sports Crunch Radio. That's going over local, national sports. We'll be also touching some boxing as well too. There might be times where we're going sometimes when we're having so much about one subject that we may do a show about just that one subject, just like a show to boxing or what have you. That will be every Friday at 7 p.m. We will also be doing Wrestle Talk Radio on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. and that will be either it'll be with me, Wild Bill, Levi the Mouth, or all three of us. And that will be, and you guys can catch us here on YouTube. So what I need you guys to do is subscribe to our YouTube page. So there's a little subscribe button up there. I need you guys to click that, subscribe to us, so then that way you guys can catch all our live feeds, and then that way we know how many followers we got and so on and so forth. So we'll be live here. That's the best way you guys can catch us, the best way to interact with us as well too. You guys can ask us any questions that you guys want at any time, and all of us will answer or give you guys our opinion at least. Again, remember, we're fans, true fans of this city, and this network, one of our slogan is built by the fans for the fans, which is you. Also, I want to make sure where you guys can catch us on our podcast, which is our biggest traction, and that's why we decided to go live. One of the biggest reasons to go live was so that we can get the interaction, but our podcast is the one that gets the biggest traction. SoundCloud, #1. So you guys can catch us on SoundCloud if you look up Windy City Sports Network. iTunes, rate us, give us 5 stars, and make sure you subscribe to it. Click that button just like on YouTube that says subscribe. iTunes, Stitcher Radio, TuneIn Radio, Podbean, Overcast, Google Play. We're on Google Play right now, and then the podcast app as well too. So all those apps are free. They're available on iOS and on Android, and you guys can listen to us at any time on any of those devices. So you guys can hear us for free. You guys can listen to us for free, and that's it. Let's go on with the show. So that means we're going to dig into Sammy's favorite thing right now happening on Sunday. What is that?
Super Bowl Sunday.
Super Bowl Sunday. All right. So what's your take on this, man? Or let's start with, I guess, because you guys, well, let's start with who do you guys think is going to win?
Well, I mean, I think it's pretty even matchup. I think that there's some areas where the Eagles match up pretty well with the Patriots, but then again, it's hard to bet against Tom Brady. So I think that this Super Bowl is one of the more evenly matched Super Bowls that we've had over the last 10, 20 years, in my opinion.
I agree.
If you look at the line here, I think it's Sports Bovada has it -4.5 for the Patriots. So even they have it close.
It's a very, very close. I think part of it is too, I mean, overall, I know Brady's Mr. Clutch, and he's very scary. I know that the Eagles got to have to do a lot, and as hard as they work, and we saw it with Jacksonville in the first, second, and third quarter, if they don't work hard in the fourth, even harder than they did in the first, second, and third, they're going to lose that game because Brady's going to beat him and kill him at the fourth quarter. And he's that leader. He's that motivator and stuff. But who do you think?
Who I think's going to win?
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very close, but I give a slight edge to the Patriots because of Tom Brady. But I think it's going to be very, very close. I think it's probably like 31-28, somewhere along those lines.
So you think it's going to be high scoring?
Yeah, I think it's going to be high scoring, yeah.
So you think Patriots because of Brady?
Yeah.
Who do you want, though?
I want the Eagles to win.
Everyone wants the Eagles.
Yeah.
City of brotherly love.
Tom Brady's unbelievable. I mean, he's 40 years old. I mean, this he's amazing.
So what is, and the guy doesn't want to retire. I think, who are we talking? Me and Tom were talking about it.
Yeah, he doesn't want to retire. He wants, what, 3-4 more years?
Yeah.
But his wife is like, baby, I want you home. I want you with the kids. You know, so who knows?
What do you, what's your take on this, JackMann? Who do you think?
I also think it's going to be a very close game. If you look at all the Patriots' victories in the Super Bowls, even their defeats, they were very close. All of them are decided by like less than a touchdown, I believe. Now, these guys, they did play each other, and Brady was there in 2004, but it was McNabb for the Phillies, and Patriots won by like 3 points. I think like 24-21. So usually when the teams are close, I always lean towards the team with the better quarterback, you know, and that's Tom Brady. But Nick Foles, he showed himself in 2013. He showed himself last week. I like the Eagles coach, Doug Peterson. He's really smart. He had a good game plan for the Vikings. Now, the Vikings had the #1 defense, but his game plan was to get the ball out of Nick Foles' hands quickly so the rush wouldn't get to him. So that's something that's he game planned for that team. This guy, he worked with Don Shula. He was under Don. He was a quarterback, Doug Peterson, and he used to work a lot with Don Shula. So I think we know Belichick's a genius, but I also think the Philly coach is really good. I would have to give a slight edge to the Patriots. Last week when I did, or 2 weeks ago when I did the pick, I picked the Eagles to win and I picked the Patriots to win. And then I said, I think Patriots for the win. But I didn't really watch the Eagles a lot this year, and they were playing with Carson Wentz. And when I seen them last week, or 2 weeks ago, whatever, when they beat the Vikings, they were really impressive. I think they do have a chance. I think if it's a close game, Patriots are going to win. They usually pull it off in the fourth quarter. But Philly defensive disruptive, and I also think it's not going to be bigger than 7 points. It's going to be probably a 3-point victory. I'll lean towards the Patriots, but something's telling me that this Philly team can beat them. The only 2 losses the Patriots lost was to the Giants in the Super Bowl. Everyone else they beat, but they beat them in close games.
All right. Who do you want to win, though? You're rooting for the Philly, or are you rooting for New England? So you think the Patriots are going to win, but who do you want to win?
Most likely in a close game. I kind of like the Philly team. Chris Long's on there. Howie's son.
So I get, well,
and I like Nick. You know what? I like Nick Foles real fast. I like Nick Foles' story. He almost retired. And he came back to Philly, and I kind of like that story.
Yeah. All right. So someone's got a question here. You ready?
Yes.
Do you guys think the game might go into overtime?
I think it's very possible. I think it's going to be a very close game. What I think the Eagles can do, they have a chance to win this game if they can put pressure on Tom Brady with their front four. That's how you beat Brady.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brady kills you on the blitz.
Yeah.
When you blitz, I mean, that's when that
short pass.
Yes. So when they played the Giants had a fantastic defensive line, and the Eagles got a pretty good defensive line also. So if they're able to pressure them like 40% of the time, the stats show that the odds of beating Tom Brady improve greatly.
So I think it has a great chance of going in overtime. I think it may end up being decided in overtime by a field goal. I think, like Sammy, it's going to be a high-scoring game. I think it's going to be in the high 20s, maybe early 30s, and it's going to be a field goal deciding game. This is going to be all on defense. It's going to be a defensive game, and what strategies each defense or each team is going to put in place and stuff. I got a lot to go into my. Tom? What's your picks on this?
Well, last week I was thinking about the Patriots pulling it off, but everyone knows Tom Brady is the comeback kid.
Yeah.
So last year in the Super Bowl, when they were down 25, you can see the Atlanta Falcons not be that aggressive. So I think this year, Philadelphia is going to be remembering that, and they're going to keep playing at the highest level. So far, we got, what, 3 wins for the Patriots?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to pick on the other side. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Thank you.
Okay?
At least I'm not by myself.
Well, I'm going to go with the Eagles because I think they know what Tom can do at the last minute. And just because you're up 10 points or 15 points, I think, we'll see what happens. But hopefully it's a good game. I don't want to go in overtime.
I think it's going to go over, or I think it's going to – I'm going Philly. I'm rooting for Philly, and I'm going for Philly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good, 2-2 here. But I've got a lot. I actually did a ton of research on this. Got a ton of time to do it, and I basically went over what each team has to do to win this game. I got 4 key things. First, Brady is the best fourth quarter quarterback. There's no other quarterback out there in the fourth quarter that could come through and clutch. And I know that on Take One with Shannon Sharp and Bayless, they talked about that a lot, and they were comparing Michael Jordan with Tom Brady, and so on and so forth. So he is clutch, but there's 4 key things that you have to do right now. Or this
How
is
about
for
Joe Montana?
I think Brady's better, man.
I'll
Look how
go
many
Brady.
rings.
I'll take Brady.
Yeah.
No, but in the clutch, Joe Cool was really good too.
He was, but I
Yeah,
think Brady's got him beat now.
You know
but
why?
Yeah, of course he was.
You know why I take Brady? Because he played with different personnel. If you look at Montana, he had Jerry Rice, he had John Taylor, he had those guys. He had those guys for Brady's done it with a bunch of different guys.
He did, but he won the first one in I believe 81. He didn't have some of those guys. The first one he won, but he did have those guys. They won 88, 89.
Did they have Roger Craig in the first one?
81, no, a lot of those guys weren't there. I think 84 Roger Craig might have been there, but 81 when he had Dwight Clark and those other guys.
So what one of Bill says, it's all on the Eagles blitz. One of those linebackers are going to get to Brady. If the linebackers can't get to him, it's game over for the Eagles.
They might try to hurt him.
So
hurt Tom Brady.
Here's my 4 keys. Here's my 4 things I think that they need to do. The front 4 of the Eagles wide 9 scheme, they have to wear down that O-line. They have now. Here's some stats for you. The Patriots' offensive line only gave up 35 sacks this year. That's nothing.
No,
that is one of the best offensive lines right now in the league. So that front 4 has a ton of work to do. Jacksonville last week only sacked them 3 times, so there was no real pressure applied. So the pass rush, they have to establish it big time. They have to get in there. They have to attack Brady. But what that means is then the linebackers are going to get done over, because what Brady's going to do is he's going to start throwing the short passes, and you're going to have like Deion Lewis and those guys like blow that place up. So the linebackers got to be on their toes in the secondary for that. But the front 4 with their wide 9 scheme have to go in hard. They have to let Foles be himself, and they got to let him go. Don't control him. Don't tell him. Just let him be who he is. He's got an arm on himself, and he makes pretty solid decisions. He's not one of those guys where you'll be like, he's not like a Rex Grossman of the Bears when we made the Super Bowl against the Colts. Like, he's a guy that I think you can let go, and you may get something good out of him. The key is stopping Gronk. Force Brady to pass to Amendola and these other receivers, and don't give him that big target option of Gronk. Gronk announced that he's going to play. So they said that he cleared.
Well, they allowed him to play yesterday.
They cleared it.
They cleared him yesterday.
And I think that's BS. I don't think he should be playing, but I know whatever the case is, that's a whole other story with concussion protocol. But if you take Gronk out of the game, he's forced to go into the other wide receivers, and then we can see what happens from there. And then they have to win the special team battles. They have to go after that, and they have to win. Philly's got a better defense right now.
Philly has a better defense
than the Patriots.
Yes, they do.
They have a huge shot at this, and this is going to be a defensive game big time. Now, for the Patriots, they got, because of the stuff that obviously I know that the Eagles are going to be doing, and both coaches are looking both ways, you're going to have to lean. Brady's got to lean on the halfbacks more in the passing game. So Josh McDaniels loves to craft game plans around this stuff. And to truth be told, that's who I wanted to be the Bears coach. I know he failed miserably in Denver, but I didn't want Nagy. That's who I wanted. McDaniels is a great offensive coordinator, and in my personal opinion, I think the Patriots have 3 head coaches right now. Their defensive coordinator, their offensive coordinator, and Belichick. All 3 of those guys can be head coaches in other teams, but they have to use their halfbacks more. So guys like James White, Deion Lewis, Burkhead, they're going to have to work the overtime on the short pass games. And then the pass run option, they have to put, the defense has to put the pressure on them, because what's going to happen right now, and I've got stats on this too, at Foles. So if you're looking at the run game with the non-RPOs, 61% completion rate, his TD interception 8-2. And when he's running the RPOs, it's a 93.8 completion rate, 0-0 TD interception. So huge for the defense of the Patriots. And frankly, I don't know if they've got the capability of doing that. When you're signing guys like Harrison, the guy's a beast, but he's old. You know what I mean? And a lot of the guys that the Patriots get are usually older guys. But I know they've got a ton of experience and stuff, but we'll see what they're capable of doing and how they can do it. They have to put the pressure on Foles, and then they have to make sure they stop that run game. Philly's run game with Ajayi and Blount, it is monstrous, and that's one of the games that they have to go through and they have to attack. So we'll see what happens, but those are my keys that I think both teams have to go after and they have to key on, and we'll see what happens. We saw it in Jacksonville too last year. Remember, what's that guy's names? The halfback in the first half that was getting all those runs. Grant, wasn't it? Who's the halfback from Jacksonville?
They got Leonard Fournette now.
No, the other guy that they use. They use that guy for the options.
I forgot. It's not Ivory. No, yeah.
No, it's Grant. I think it's Charles Grant or something. I forgot his name. But I mean, we saw that last game with look it up really quick. It's something Grant.
Corey Grant.
There you go, Corey Grant. Corey Grant. That guy was blowing it up in the first and the second half, or the first and second quarter. And I mean, we saw what that game can do to the Patriots, and they can't stop it. So we'll see what happens. It's going to be a real interesting game, I think.
I think it's going to be a good game too. Maybe 27-24 Patriots, but it wouldn't surprise me if Philly won. It really wouldn't.
Yeah,
because they do got the better defense. For the year, the Philly defense was ranked number 4. Now this is off a yards per game, and the New England Patriots was ranked 29. But look at this: the New England Patriots allow 366 yards per game, where the Philly only allow 306, but points per game, they're almost tied. So Belichick's defense or Matt Patricia's defense will bend, but they both give 18.5 points per game. Philly's 18.4, New England's 18.5. That's the only thing. I think Philly's an overall better team, except for the offense of Brady, but they're Patriots' system, and they're like so well coached. And even Amendola, who was just like a kind of a decent, good player in the Rams, is like really good in the Patriots because of Tom Brady and their system. And Edelman, who's one of my favorite players, I wish he was playing. He's the one who should have got the MVP. You know,
yeah.
Was that against Seattle?
Yeah, against Seattle.
Yeah, he's the one who should have got the MVP, I believe.
So
not Brady. Although Brady was great, I think he should have got it.
Yeah, I still think, and I would not be surprised if the Patriots won. So if the Patriots did win, I wouldn't be shocked at all. I just think that, and you hit it, JackMann. I think if they win, they won because they got outcoached. Like I said, they've got great coaching staff in New England, and the more experience, I think, than those guys.
They do, but Philly has shorts on defense, and they who's on offense? The shorts and the Philly coach. They got another
offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. Who's looking it up?
They got some good coaches too.
Bull is looking it up.
And that Doug Peterson rigged up a nice game plan 2 weeks ago against the Vikings.
So
it's Frank Reich.
Okay.
Frank Reich.
That's he was a backup for the Buffalo Bills.
He's the one who had the greatest comeback in history. In 91 against the Houston Oilers against Warren Mean.
Yeah, Jim Kelly got hurt and
Right. So he's good too. So these guys got good coaches too, Philly.
We have another question. Ready?
Yeah.
All right. So someone wants to know, and I'm assuming it's for gambling reasons. Which team will have the lead by halftime?
You know what?
Good question.
If you're going to gamble, I'll say the Eagles.
I was going
to say what the
Eagles
odds are. I would go with the Eagles.
I would go with the Eagles too.
And here's the reason why. You can go back to the Jacksonville game and see what Jacksonville was doing. Philly's going to do the same thing. And like I said, when we first started talking about this, if Philly, the way they play in the first, second, and third quarter, if they stop and give up a little bit in the fourth, Patriots got it. But they have how hard they play in the first, second, and third, they have to play 3 times harder in the fourth. I think Philly will end up with the lead, and the Patriots are going to be trying to make that comeback. And we'll see if it happens, or if Philly's going to run out of gas.
I'm going reverse.
You think the Patriots will be leading in Jacksonville, and then
I'm going reverse.
Wow,
I'm going reverse.
You know, guys, I'd also want to add something here. If you look at the Patriots, they never dominate anyone. All their Super Bowls are close. They're within a few points. I mean, it's every Super Bowl goes down to the wire.
So maybe their luck will run out this time.
It could.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't think so, though.
You don't think so?
Look at all their Super Bowls. Their Super Bowls have all been decided by 3 points or less. This Patriot team, they're not that dominant. They're not like the old school 49ers, or they're not like the old school Chicago, the Bears for that 1 year. I mean, they can be beat.
No, they're not dominant. They barely win.
That's what makes them special. That's what makes the Patriots special. They always find a way to win.
Well, Tom Brady can never beat Eli Manning, right? JackMann, they lost twice against the Giants. Am I correct?
Oh, yeah. The Peyton.
So,
he beat Eli. I mean, he beat Peyton,
but he can't beat his brother.
They lost once to the Giants, once to Seattle, I believe.
No, twice to the Giants.
Twice to the Giants. I'm sorry, you're right.
Seattle, they should have lost if they would have gave it to what's his name?
So if I was
Patriots should have lost.
If I was the Philly owner, I would get Eli Manning at the game. I would have him there.
Well, they did lose to what's that, Eastern Conference NFC team? I mean, it's got to be NFC, of course, but Eastern Conference team. Philly's in the same conference as the Giants.
Peyton Manning will be in a Super Bowl commercial for Universal Studios.
Not Papa John's Pizza?
No.
Damn. Or Nationwide.
Nationwide is on your side.
That was a good question, the last one.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah,
it was.
But it's going to be a fun game to watch. It's going to be very exciting with what's going on. Who's doing halftime? I think it's Timberlake.
Yes, Justin Timberlake's doing a halftime.
Any surprise appearances by Janet? Janet Jackson? No. I think Pink's doing
she's a Phillies fan. She's from Philadelphia.
Philly.
Yeah, she's from Philly.
So she's doing the national anthem in the beginning. And I think that's pretty much it for I think Timberlake, because I know he's releasing an album, will probably do something crazy. And there'll probably be surprise spots along with it as well too. But we'll see what happens. I'm rooting for Philly, and I want Philly, even though those fans are a little crazy up there. But we'll see what happens.
I think Philly could pull it off.
I think they have a really big chance and good chance to do
it. They're gonna pull it off, and some Philly fans are gonna send themselves some Philly steak sandwiches over here in Chicago.
But if I had to bet, I would bet on Brady.
Patriots.
Yeah, I would bet on Patriots. Yeah.
All right. What else you got? Super Bowl talk. Bull? Nothing?
No, that just about covers it on my end.
Nothing for JackMann?
No, I'm good.
I don't want to get out of the NFL just yet, though. I want to talk about the Alex Smith, Kirk Cousins deal. Catch you guys.
Yeah.
So what did you guys think of Washington getting Smith and Kansas City trading him?
I think Kirk Cousins is better than Alex Smith.
100%. And I don't know why Washington thinks that Alex Smith is better. I don't get it. Now, the only thing I can think of is unless They think that Kirk Cousins is going to ask for big bucks, which he is, and the reason is because he's going to get it from the other 4 teams. But where now? Here's the other question I have: where do you guys think Cousins will end up?
Could be the Vikings.
I don't think they're going to go. The only way Bridgewater will probably end up in the PUP, but I still think.
What do you think, Nick?
So Arizona, maybe. Arizona would be a good place for him to land.
No,
Carson Palmer's an old man. He's been injured.
No, he's gone already. I think.
Retired.
Yeah, Palmer retired.
Yeah.
Didn't Arizona just sign somebody? Arizona just signed a quarterback, I thought. This is my theory. I think Denver is his first choice to go. I think he's got a solid team there. If they don't get rid of those wide receivers, I think that he may possibly end up going to Denver. Now, Cousins did say, though, already that he is not going to make his decision solely based on money, although money talks, and he may do that. But I think his first choice might be Denver. His second choice, but how old is Cousins? 27? 20, he's got to be like 27, 26, 28 maybe. The Jets, but that's my second option. But the Jets are a long way from winning, and I don't know if he's going to put himself in that situation again. And I know that one of the reasons for him leaving Washington was because of the losing records. So Minnesota's my third option, but I think Minnesota's really going to depend. I know they're not sold on Keenum, and I know Bridgewater may be on the pup. And if that's the case, then yeah, I think they'll do it and they'll go after it. But I think that's it. Then the third one, which I've heard rumors about, but I'm not giving this as an option, is Cleveland. And my issue with Cleveland is, did they give up on Kaiser already? They just drafted this kid.
I don't think they gave up on him.
So I mean, I heard their name out there. That's why. And I was like, why would Cleveland be signing the Cousins when they just drafted Kaiser? It just makes no sense to me why they would do that and give up on a kid after 1 year. Now I know they didn't win a game, but still, like, you got to give this guy an offensive line and some threats, and he doesn't have either.
You know, mentioning the Cleveland Browns, how the hell does Hugh Jackson still have his job? I don't get it.
I think they're going to give him time.
But he's 1-31 in the last 2 years.
Man.
I mean, 1-31. That's
who's didn't they fire the GM?
I'm not sure.
I think if anything, I think they're putting the blame on the GM, whoever the GM is. But I mean, that team is so foobarred, man. I don't know. You know what I would really like?
Hey, if you're a great football coach, there's no way you go 1-31. You got to find ways to win the game. The players love them.
So who national championship? Alabama, Georgia. If you take the national champion right now in the NCAA and you have them play Cleveland, who do you think would win?
They'll kill them 100-0.
You think Cleveland would win?
100-0. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
100.
I question it sometimes. I feel like maybe an NCAA team could beat these guys.
No, it's like a seniors playing against 8th graders. It's not the same.
Although colleges like Alabama, they probably have 7-8 NFL, guys going pro. Literally, they probably have 7-8 guys drafted every year from those. Colleges.
They're big colleges all the time. I mean, these guys, all they do is recruit full time all year round. So, all right. What else is there? NFL, nothing NFL wise. You think Alex Smith is going to do good in Washington? And he signed that whole huge contract now too.
I'm not too impressed with the Redskins. I don't think he's going to do that good. I see him going like 7-9 to 9-7, somewhere along those lines.
Around 500-ish. Yeah.
I mean, Alex Smith is a solid guy.
He's
solid.
Yeah,
but he's not great.
All right, so NFL, I think that's pretty much all we got. We're split on Philly and the Patriots. So we'll be seeing who's going to win on Sunday. Sunday's going to be very exciting. I spoke a little bit about the commercials, just so that people. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys my favorite one. I thought my favorite one was Amazon, and they had Jeff Bezos on the commercial, and he had. It was actually pretty funny. If you guys have Alexa, Alexa lost her voice, so he had all these famous people that would have a mic on and they would talk when customers would ask Alexa something. So like Gordon Ramsay was one of the talkers. Hopkins from Westworld was one of them. One of the girls from Saturday Night Live. One of these pop singers were on there, so it was pretty funny because he was trying to bring these guys in. But that was the funniest one. But Duracell with the Bill Belichick one. You've got Budweiser had one, Groupon had one, Pringles had a funny one, which is he had. And I know I'm talking about food, but Pringles had. You know how they have the pizza Pringle?
Yes.
And then the buffalo Pringle.
Yes.
So barbecue. So he put barbecue.
You know all your Pringles.
The one guy
all
put,
the flavors.
Well, hold on. This is funny. He put a barbecue Pringle in his hand, and then he puts the pizza Pringle on second.
Yes.
And the one guy looks at it and he goes, "Whoa, you got a barbecue pizza there."
Nice.
So then another guy walks by and he takes the jalapeno Pringles and he puts the jalapeno one on top of it and he goes, "Dude, you got a spicy barbecue." It was pretty funny. So the Pringles one was pretty cool. They did a Game of Thrones Doritos commercial, Mountain Dew Ice. So it sort of went with fire and ice because the Dorito was like a hot Dorito. So it was fire and ice. So it was pretty funny with Game of Thrones. They did a Febreze. Terry Bradshaw was on a Tide commercial. He was locked out somewhere.
No GoDaddy commercials?
Keanu Reeves did a Squarespace.
Okay.
Which is like a GoDaddy in a way.
Okay.
Lexus had one with the star of Black Panther. Peyton Manning did a Universal. M&M's had Danny DeVito. That was pretty funny. So Danny DeVito was like small and he picked up a Lucky Penny and he played the red M&M and he was trying to ask people to eat him. He's like, "Will you eat me?" He's like, "No one will eat me." So that was pretty
I like Danny
funny.
DeVito.
Yeah, he is funny.
Yeah, I like him.
And I think there's a lot of other ones on there. Michelob Ultra had a funny one with Chris Pratt on it. Where he was trying to work out to become the main guy in the commercial. Hyundai had a cheesy one, so we'll see. I mean, honestly, I saw all of the skits for all the commercials, and I wasn't super impressed. So if you guys are one of those people that don't like to leave because you guys want to see the commercials, I don't think you're going to miss anything big this commercial time. So go do whatever you guys have to do and go back and watch the game for that. But all right, I think that's pretty much it for NFL talk, unless Tom, Chris, or anyone, because Tom Chris is over here doing this with us, telling us to keep going.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying change it. I'm like, cut it.
All right. So what are we going to jump into NBA now?
Let's do it.
JackMann's favorite subject.
NBA.
All right. Bulls are horrible right now, dude. What's going on, JackMann?
Chris Dunn is out.
Yeah, I think and I think that shows how important he is too.
It does show how important he is. I got some stats here with and without Chris Dunn in the lineup. All right, points per game without Chris Dunn, 108. With Dunn, 113.4. 3-point percentage, 36%, 36.5% without Dunn. With Dunn, 40%. Turnovers, 16.2 without Dunn, 13.2 with Dunn. Assist to turnover ratio, 1.58 without Dunn, 1.89 with Dunn. Offensive fast break, opponents' fast break points. Without Dunn, 18. With Dunn, only 11.8. Miritic is not here no more, but this is just a big effect he had on him. Without Dunn, 13.4 points per game. With Dunn, 19.3 points per game. That's 6 points. It's a lot. Marketing, without Dunn, 14.6, and with Dunn, 19.2. It just illustrates how important Chris Dunn is to the Bulls, to their offense. He gets the offense going quickly. He gets the ball up the court quickly. He gets them in their offense, and he's a very good defender. He's got long arms. He's averaging 2 steals a game. Like I said, he's one of my favorite Bull, and I hope he comes back soon. He's still out. Last time we spoke, he was out with the concussion protocol, and he's still out. He may travel with the team shortly, and he's getting better.
He did.
Yeah, he did. Good.
And they actually said that he might. He's not going to play tomorrow for sure, but he may be back. They said the game after that.
Okay.
So he looks like he may be back in about a game, I'm assuming.
In his own stats, let alone which he helps other players, which is the most important, how he runs offense. His own stats aren't shabby either. He's averaging 13.7 points a game, 6.3 assists, 4.6 rebounds, and like I said earlier, 2.1 steals a game. Not bad for a rookie, for basically a rookie, because he's had his first year.
No, it's not bad, but however, we still need more talent on the Bulls. We're not going to win no championships.
Not yet.
No, of course
not
we're not
yet.
going to win championships. Right now, you're in the beginning stages of a rebuild. So,
we've been rebuilding since the late 90s.
Well,
it's about time. Jordan's retired.
I think it's sad what happened with that Bulls franchise. It really is.
It is sad, but it happened. We can't cry over spilled milk. We got to look forward. But I mean, we can't be rebuilding for 20 years now, 2 decades.
Well,
we got to figure this out.
You really weren't rebuilding, though, because if you think about it, they had all their eggs in their basket with D Rose, Joakim Noah, and those guys that were there. And then that just didn't work out. So after that, then they had to blow it up, especially with what was happening with D Rose. And then they were like, all right, we got to cut it off. And then that's where they're at right now. We got to start all over again and stuff. So for that time period after the Jordan era, they were
semi-decent.
Well, they were horrible for like 4 or 5 years, and then
true.
they became, after they drafted Rose, that really helped them.
Yeah,
right.
We couldn't get a free agent to come here. Nobody wanted to come here. The way they treated Michael, the way they treated Scottie.
Michael and Pippen and all those guys. And that's why I think a big reason why they brought Pippen and Grant back is to help with that aspect, which I think is a good move. But overall, I think that what they're doing right now, I truly, before the season started, I really didn't like what Pax and Gar were doing. So I'm 100% on board with what they're doing now. The rumors are out there after this trade is that Robin Lopez is next. Keep in mind, the trade deadline is done on February 8th, which is what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's Wednesday next week, I think. That's like Wednesday of next week or Thursday.
Yeah.
So Robin Lopez may be next. And there's rumors that Jeremiah Grant may be involved in that trade as well to get that out. Robin Lopez has got a big contract too, and that's why they're trying to unload him.
He does got a big contract.
For the Bulls to win, they have to sign a big name free agent. That's just not happening. You got to sign somebody. You have to.
So here's my theory of what
you have to.
This is what here's my
well,
theory.
The Bulls hired like has-beens. They hired Dwayne Wade. Like
that guy was
and then
cancer.
Boozer,
dude.
They hired Booze back. Like
but that was during.
I like Boozer.
Yeah, Boozer was okay. He
Ben Wallace.
Defense
Ben Wallace, what a bust.
That was a bust.
That was a huge bust.
Yeah.
Ben Wallace was terrible.
Yeah, but he was funny.
So, what I think. So let's talk the Mirotic trade here. So, did you like it overall, JackMann?
Yeah, I liked it. I mean, he didn't want to be here anymore, and they got a first-round pick. Yep. And then they're going to have their own first-round pick. The only thing is if it's protected, but the Pelicans, that's only in the top 5. They're not going to. They're not going to be. They're not going to go that low.
Yeah.
So no, I do like it.
So I didn't know this before because I know I was tweeting out before that we basically I didn't like the deal because a seek and destroy's contract was $34 million, and if we cut ties with him at the end of the season, we would end up paying $34 million for a first round pick. He has a clause in his contract after this year where he only can we can buy him out for $14 million, which is fantastic because at the end of the day, what's going to happen is we're going to keep Asik for this year. But I guarantee you he's going to be cut at the end of the year. We're going to pay him his $14 million. He's on his way because that's a lot of money as well too. So it's like he can be on his way. Tony Allen, I think, is going to be cut within a week. So Tony Allen's going to be gone. He's a 38-year-old veteran. I think he's done with tuning. Needs to retire.
He was a defensive stopper in his prime.
Yeah. So I heard the only person that they're going to keep is Jameer Nelson. So Jameer Nelson, they're going to keep for his experience, and they may keep him next year too, because I think he has 2 or 3 years left on his contract. So they're going to try to keep Jameer, and he'll be the only guy on that trade. So in reality, we paid $14 million, or we're going to pay $14 million for a guy that we didn't want to keep, or he didn't want to stay here. Not that we didn't want to keep him. He didn't want to stay here. So we're going to pay $14 million, keep Jameer Nelson, and get a mid-first round pick, which I think is going to be pretty solid. And then on top of it, and this is where I'm going to go with this. I'm rooting for the tank now, JackMann. I want a tank. Because if you tank, you could potentially get a top 3 pick. And if you can get Bagley or Porter in this draft, I think that is huge, along with the New Orleans first-round pick. Well, you can get 2 studs in this draft.
Yeah, well, I heard they were going to play campaign more. And what's his name? Zipser and those guys. Yeah. So if they play all those guys a lot of minutes. Well, Zipster's decent. I kind of like Paul Zipster. I like him. But campaign didn't really show me much. If they start playing those guys, then your wish might come true.
I'm rooting for the tank. If we get the tank, if we can get a top 3 pick, we can try to get at least Booker or Bagley. I'm rooting for Bagley. If we can, and he's going to go 1 or 2. If we can get one of those guys and we can unload Robin Lopez, then I think we'll be looking pretty solid. And then on top of it, we're going to have a ton of money to sign in the free agent market if we can get anyone over here too. But overall, so what happened with the Mirotić trade is it went through. And that same day it went through, about 2 days ago, they announced it didn't go through. What the holdup was they said that Mirotić was asking for a guaranteed second year. Mirotić's current trade right now is not guaranteed. It's a team option. And he would not approve the trade until the Pelicans said that they would guarantee him
his salary for the second year, which is $12.5 million.
Exactly.
You didn't bring that up. They're going to offload that, so that's pretty good.
It is. So, but we still have to pay the $14 million to buy out what's his name, Osic's contract. So,
a seek and destroy.
A seek and destroy. That's Stacey King's favorite. It's that. Oh, we're currently trying to think too with Stacey, if anyone can think of it. They're looking for a name for. Who was it? Lauri Markkanen is called the Finisher.
The Finisher, Finland.
He's Finnish. They're trying to come up with a nickname for Levine. No one came up with a good one yet. So Stacey King's looking for that if anyone could think of one. But we'll see. And Dunn. I don't think Dunn has one either. No. Does he have one from Stacey? I don't think he does.
I don't think so.
We got to think of one.
Yeah.
Right.
So we got to think of one for Levine and what's his name. So overall, I like the trade. I am a huge fan of this trade. We're going to get 2 first-round picks. I'm excited. I'm going to be glued to the draft when it's happening to see who we're going to end up getting. Current state of the Bulls right now doesn't look good, but I'm okay with that for the simple fact that I really want to see them tank so that we can end up getting some quality picks in the draft. So I think they'll be okay. I mean, and I think with Lauri Markkanen as our future, we'll see what's going to happen with Levine in the offseason. He is going to be a free agent after this year. He's currently undecided. He doesn't know what he wants to do. To be honest with you, would you re-sign him right now, JackMann?
Yeah, I would. I mean, he's got to play more. He's got to get back in shape.
He hasn't shown us anything yet.
Right, not yet.
So to me personally, if I was the owner of the Bulls, I'd be holding off right now because I haven't seen quality playing time out of him just yet to say, yes, we're going to go big in with, because he's going to demand a lot of money. So I have to see more out of Levine before I go over and fork money over to him. But Kevin Dunn should be a staple on our team. And right now, Lauri Markkanen. So Markkanen and Dunn should be the 2 staples. We'll make that decision by the end of the year with Levine. And if anything, that's all I'm doing when I'm watching Bulls games now is I'm watching Levine to see how good he's going to be and if he's going to be worth signing. And I hope we lose the games in reality.
Well, it says on the salary thing right here for 2018 and 19, Zach LaVine is he's $4.4 million.
Yeah, but I think that is a player option.
Okay.
So that's why I think we have to either re-sign him or we'll see what happens from there. On another note, and I know I'm jumping across town here, Jabari Parker comes back today to the Bucks.
Good. I like Jabari.
So that means the Greek Freak is going to have Jabari Parker, and the Milwaukee Bucks are finally a full team. It was sad to see Kid go, but at least we'll see what happens with them and the Milwaukee Bucks now with Yanni over there. So, all right. Anything else about the Bulls before we start jumping into All-Star break 3-point contest?
Nope.
Sammy?
No.
Nothing?
Nope.
All right. So, I want JackMann's take on this. So, what's your take on the whole LeBron going to Golden State?
You know, that's crazy. If he really wanted to go there, it's like don't you want to beat them, not join them?
Yes.
I mean, the Miami thing wasn't as bad as going to Golden State. That thing's crazy going to Golden State. But now LeBron refuted that in a tweet.
And they're always going to say that.
Right.
I mean, that's what Durant was doing too. Remember, Durant was saying the same thing when everyone was hearing about the Golden State rumors, and they were going through, and they were all saying it was untrue. Then all of a sudden, out of the blue, Golden State came through and they signed him. And they're like, "Oh, what are you doing, man?" It's like you're
that was a really stacked team when Durant went there.
Exactly. So
I mean, LeBron gets a lot of heat for going to the Heat.
Yeah. But
it wasn't as bad as what Durant did, or they weren't as stacked as Golden State was when Durant went there.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
I think
everyone can go wherever they want, but I'm just saying, Jordan, the guys from the 80s and 90s were different. They were like, I think, more competitive, more cutthroat, and they were just different players than the players now.
So my take on LeBron, I'm not knocking the guy as a player. As a player, the guy is this is his era. We saw the Michael Jordan era. We saw the Kobe era, and now we're currently in the LeBron era. So I'm not doubting that. I didn't like the first time he took off and he made the whole decision thing and made it into a whole media circus, and he ended up going to Miami. In my opinion, someone who bails to go to another city to say, hey, because he knows he's going to win, you're picking an easy way out instead of sticking with Cleveland and having discussions with them about building that team and saying, hey, I'm willing to stay here, but I need you to build around us.
See, I didn't think that was too bad because he stayed in Cleveland like 7 years. He came in like 2003. He went to Miami in what, in 10? He stayed there. And then I think it was more he wanted to play with his buddies because those guys were coming together. You had Wade
but
there.
He knew he was going to win.
But the way he did it, though, on ESPN with the decision and everything, I mean, he could have been a little more
discreet about it.
Yes.
Well, I think now players, they just want to play with their friends, their buddies, their homies, whatever they would call them. So back in the day, like we said, they wanted to just beat, like Jordan wanted to beat Bird, Bird wanted to beat Magic. But now they're like, no, we just want to hang out and play basketball and win championships. Is it good for the NBA? No. It's like, they got the 3-point shooting now. It looks like a European basketball. I'm not sure, what's going to happen.
Yeah, the 3-point shooting really changed the NBA game.
Yeah, I remember watching back in the the 80s and 90s, the European basketball. It was just, in the Olympics, there was all 3-point shooting. I didn't like it. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in the NBA. Maybe they'll have a 4-point play. I just don't know.
So, in my opinion, with LeBron, and this is how I see it. So he went to Miami. He won his rings there. Two. He came back to Cleveland.
1-1.
And he's like, okay. And it was with Kyrie. You stay here, man. This is the team that drafted you. This is what builds legacies. I mean, and I know we had an agreement, or someone said something on our Facebook page about, oh, well, didn't Michael do it with Washington? Because I said the whole thing of you never would have seen Magic, Larry Bird, or Michael Jordan do this. It's like, well, didn't Michael Jordan do it with Washington? He did, but he did it at the end of his career. He did it when he owned the team because he was a part owner of the Washington Bullets at the time, I think it was. Or
Plus, there's a lot of bad blood with the Chicago
not just that, but it also
he didn't want to be here.
He left. He knew he wasn't going to win. He didn't go because, oh, I'm going to win in Washington. He left because he owned the team and he wanted to help the youngsters out. Now, LeBron's doing it for a completely different reason. He's doing it to win. You never saw Kobe even leave. I'm even going to talk about newer guys, like the older guys. You never saw Kobe leave LA.
Yeah, but Kobe had a good team.
But that's because he had conversations with the Lakers or owners, and he said, hey, I'm going to stay here, but you guys have to build the team. And again, I may not know if maybe LeBron has had these conversations.
He had to have them.
And maybe the owners are telling him, screw you. I ain't going to give you anyone. This is your team. You got to figure it out.
No, him and Dan Gilbert, the owner, they're close friends.
So I don't know. I just think, and I know again that Golden State thing is a rumor, but then he goes through, and what is this he says? And this is the funny part. He goes, LeBron's camp in this end of the season is open to talks with the Spurs. Popovich would chew this guy out. In my opinion, LeBron is uncoachable. We saw it you saw it on TV when LeBron's chewing out Lou.
I don't think
Lou is not that coach.
I don't think he's uncoachable. I don't think
we saw it with Spoelstra, and I told JackMann
he needs a coach that he respects.
Last year, Spoelstra never ran the Heat.
Yeah, well, he's like
LeBron ran.
He's 30 years old. I could have been the coach. They would have won.
Listen,
I think Pat Riley had a lot to do with that.
Yeah,
and
Pat Riley, he was behind the scenes running.
Yeah.
The show.
I mean,
so I don't think he won't last at the Spurs.
But look at Eric Spoelstra. He's doing good this year. I mean, I'm just saying.
Popovich would chew him up. There's no way Popovich would take any of this shit that LeBron does.
Okay, so where do you think is he leaving? Where's he going?
So then he said he'll talk to the Heat again.
Heat.
These are the teams he's willing to talk to: the Spurs, the Heat, the Cavaliers again, the Lakers. He wants to play with the ball, and then the Rockets. So he can win. That's the same thing. You got Harden and CP3. So he's trying to go to team.
But CP3 is not a star like he used to be.
No, I know.
He's more of a solid player. Solid player.
Right now, the two teams that really don't have any chance of winning if he goes there, well, if he goes there, they have a chance of winning, are the Heat and the Cavs.
I think he should come to Chicago since he looks.
No, I don't want him. I don't want
we'll
him.
give him Jordan's old locker.
I would not take him.
And then when he wins a championship, we'll get him a statue on the other side of the stadium.
I don't like him at all.
I'm just messing.
Yeah, I don't like.
You guys wouldn't want him?
If LeBron said he wanted to come here,
come on, you take him.
I want him.
Dude, you take him.
The Greek freaks in our chat room. Would you take him, Greek freak, if LeBron said he wants to come to Chicago? I wouldn't take him. There's no way I would take him. I don't want him here. Anyways, here,
Nick,
I like
come on, man.
Hold on.
Come on.
You would take him with open arms.
Listen to this. This is First Take. Stephen A. Smith, my brother.
All right.
Hold on.
A couple of things that we need to point out. First of all, I have been told that LeBron James and his camp have absolutely positively nothing to do with this story. This is strictly coming from the Golden State Warriors side of the fence. They are an ultra aggressive franchise. When nobody thought they'd have a shot at Kevin Durant, they were way ahead of the curve, and they set the foundation a year in advance to acquire Kevin Durant. Now they're putting out feelers to see if they'd have a shot at LeBron James. This is not LeBron James and his camp. This is the Warriors and their camp putting out this story because they're an ultra-aggressive franchise who will never rest on its laurels. Now, knowing the Golden State Warriors the way that I do, Joe Lacob and Myers and Steve Kerr and the crew, that definitely is the kind of thing that they would do. They are forward thinkers. They are aggressors. They do not stand pat. They do not sit idly by and rest on their laurels. So it is certainly plausible that this is coming from them. Having said that, let me be very, very clear to LeBron James. If you even think about going to the Golden State Warriors, your legacy is tarnished forever. There's no other way around it. There's no other way. You cannot be a team. You cannot be the best player in the world that has had a stacked deck, that wins 3 championships, the latest in Cleveland after ending a drought that lasted more than a half century in that city. You've lost 2 of the last 3 championships to the Golden State Warriors, and then you turn around and you decide to join them. No matter how great Kevin Durant is, and he is phenomenal, it doesn't take away from the fact that at the time he left, it was the weakest move that I'd ever seen by a superstar. If LeBron goes to the Warriors, nothing, and I do mean nothing, will eclipse that in terms of weakness by a superstar. Absolutely, positively nothing. You go to Houston. You go a lot of different places. You can go back to Miami with D-Wade. You can stay in Cleveland. All right. Damn it, you can go to the nation's capital. Okay, you can do whatever you got to do. You can't go to the Golden State Warriors if LeBron James goes to the Golden State Warriors. If LeBron James has a meeting with the Warriors, he'll be vilified for that. If you saw him having a cup of coffee with the Warriors, he'd have a problem with that. I don't care what it is.
Watch.
It is no
LeBron
way
shouldn't even
that
watch
that
the
can
movie
happen.
The Warriors. He shouldn't even watch the movie
That's
The Warriors.
right.
He should not have anything to do with
That's
Warriors.
a good movie.
So I agree with him 100%, and that's
Hey, if he went to the Warriors, who would start, him or Durant?
no. They probably would put
Both.
No, he wouldn't go. I don't think he wants to go
He
either.
would
I
put
believe
LeBron at small forward and probably put Durant at power.
No, but he wouldn't go. I don't think he wants to go.
That team
Yeah.
would probably go like 80-2 with LeBron.
They probably would.
Yeah, literally.
It'd be like an all-star team for the West.
Yeah. No, I don't. I think
I don't think he would wants to go. You guys really believe he wants to go to that stacked of a team?
I hope it's fake. I hope it's not.
Well, what do you think, Tom?
Man, I don't. It could happen. It could really happen.
You really think he would want to go to a team that's stacked?
You know, win championships, right? You have the money. You just want
Right.
titles, right?
I know, but
You have
ain't
the
it,
money.
ain't it tarnished? Ain't it? It's like me putting boxing gloves up
Do
and
you
beating
care?
up a 6th grader.
Do you
I
care?
mean, you know, is that really a win?
Do you care as long as you get the champion? You know,
I
do you
don't know.
care?
I do. I don't know.
I mean, he has the money. Maybe he's like, all right, I got maybe 3-4 more years. I'm getting older. This is my prime.
I know, but it's not. It's not.
Yeah,
doesn't mean
but-
much like that.
Well, the NBA is changing. Maybe that's how it's going to be going forward. Maybe going forward, that's how it's going to be. Stacked teams.
Yeah, but that's too much. What do you think, Nick? And then we'll go to Sammy.
What do I think about? Ask the
Do
question again.
you think LeBron really wants to go to the Warriors and win with a stacked team like that?
everybody wants to win. Everybody wants to win.
Yeah.
I know,
okay?
but like
the bottom
that-
line, you want to win. You know,
Yeah.
and yeah, I understand it's tarnished, but you're like, all right, I don't care. It's tarnished. I'm gonna win maybe 2, 3 more. I have 5 total, and then I'm
Yeah.
gonna retire and have a good life. I don't. That's a good question. It's a hard question.
It's a hard, yeah.
That's a really tough question, and I just think it could be a possibility.
Yeah,
I was surprised he went to Miami the first time. If he did
I
that,
was shocked too.
if he did that,
Yeah, he's capable of anything.
anything.
I know, but that was 7 years in Cleveland, and Bosch was there, but it wasn't like that was a great team, but they weren't like super dumb. They didn't have no center and nothing, and they still won.
But Cleveland is exploding. They're falling apart.
You're right, they are.
Okay,
They're
so-
imploding.
Yeah. So, do you want to wait another 7 years till your career's over? The window.
See, but here's my thing with that, and this is where I'm trying. So that was the next thing I wanted to talk about. Cleveland is falling apart. It's crumbling.
Correct.
Everybody
sees it.
Where is he as a leader to say, I'm going to be the leader and I'm going to step up and I'm going to fix this?
I wanted to see what Sammy would
just
think
like Kobe
on
would
LeBron.
do, just like Kobe would do, and so would MJ would do. Maybe he's not a true leader. Maybe he's just a little baby whining. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to assess what LeBron's going to do. It's really hard to say.
Yeah, no one's in his mind thinking, but if you want to win championships, wouldn't that be the easiest way?
Yeah. Like Tom was saying, this guy's got all the money in the world.
Yeah,
He's a billionaire, this guy, probably by the time. So he
well, he's worth $350 million. That's what I know, and he has 3 championships, and he's what, 32? Was he? How old is he? 33? 33?
Yeah.
So he's like, 3, 4 more years.
I think he could play till 40. He's got a big body. I think this guy can go for a long time.
I think he can play to
Really,
42.
he's
I
huge.
really do. I don't know if he'll
I-
want to because he started when he was 18.
Listen, guys, I went to a Bulls game. You should see this guy. This guy's huge. I mean, he's big. He
So
just
LeBron?
muscles these guys.
LeBron, yeah.
He could play center. He could practically
He
play
was
center,
always
power
huge.
forward. He's big. He's strong. This
He's
guy's
strong.
very strong.
He's
If
very
he's-
strong.
If he
Yeah.
stays healthy, he can get 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. The only player in the NBA. I think if he does that, then he is the greatest player of all time. 40,000 points, 10,000 rebounds, 10,000 assists. Those are
telling
big
you,
numbers.
If this guy gets a post-up game, he could play till he's 42. He could be like the old Karl Malone.
That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, he likes playing more on the outside, but he could do
Yeah.
the post up if he wanted to more.
But-
He can do anything in the basketball.
But why do we play? We want to win.
I know,
That's
but
what we play.
I just think he has more heart than that, and that would be too stacked to the team. I think that would be way worse than the Miami thing because they didn't even.
It is worse.
Way
It would be
worse. That's my opinion.
I think it would be way worse than sitting here and saying, I'm going to Miami, that I'm going to go to Golden State. But at the end of the day, I think he needs to stay in Cleveland and he needs to end his career in Cleveland. And no matter what's going on in Cleveland right now, he has to figure it out and he has to clean it and fix it. Not anybody else, him. If he's that leader, then he has to fix it. Now, the problem I have too as well, and I think we spoke about this last week, where was he with this whole IT and Kevin Love situation? So you had IT speaking up and saying BS about Kevin Love and why he left home and did whatever. Where is LeBron James to get in the middle of this and say, hey, IT, hold on a second, bro. You just got here. Kevin's been here for 3 years, and he's had more years in the league than you. Stop, hold on a second, and you, me, and Kev are going to sit in a room and talk. Stop going to the media and stop bashing them and making the world see that we're all unfunctional, and let's work together here. Instead, and honestly, what has IT done? One good freaking year in Boston. He was horrible in Sacramento. And then one good year, and now the guy thinks he's like the new
but that's what the
John Stockton of basketball.
But that's what the players are expecting. They want to be paid up front and then perform. Back in the day, they would have to perform a couple of years, then get paid. But now, they're like, oh, I got one. Pay me right now out of college. Big money.
So
the game's changing, guys.
Scott said, and I agree with that, and what I think it also would do, and you have to question this too. He goes, would that be kind of tainted if LeBron goes to Golden State and wins the championship? It makes the NBA look bad, in my opinion. In my honest opinion, you know how when you look at Barry Bonds' records, you have an asterisk and people say, oh, but he did it on steroids? I would say the same damn thing about LeBron. I wouldn't compare him to Larry Bird's championships, Magic Johnson's championships, Michael Jordan's championships. I wouldn't even compare him to like the San Antonio championships of Tim Duncan and David Robinson. I wouldn't compare him to the Hakeem Olajuwon championships of Houston. I wouldn't compare him to the Detroit Pistons championships. You can't, because the dude it's not an all-star team. This is like the best of the world team.
Okay, then why don't people come join LeBron in Cleveland?
Because he's uncoachable. Why do you think Kyrie left? Kyrie left because he's got an ego on his head.
They all have egos.
No, but this guy's like out of control, they're saying. This guy wants it his way, or that's it, or I'm gone. And he doesn't want to listen to nobody. And that's why Kyrie was like, I'm out of here. And last year he gave him an option, and he told him, listen, if you guys don't trade me, I'm going to
Kyrie said that.
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Kyrie Irving.
Yeah. He said, you guys get me out of Dodge, or I'm going to do my surgery, and I'm out for the year. And Cleveland was forced to trade him.
But a lot of players are talking like this, demanding trades.
He's not the first player to leave LeBron. I mean, who always goes with LeBron? All these old guys that want to win rings.
Yeah.
Ray Allen's, all these old guys that are at the end of their career. They're like, oh, dude, if this guy goes to Golden State, no, seriously, and I forgot who said this. If this guy goes to Golden State, Charles Barkley needs to unretire and put a Golden State Warrior jersey on and he'll win a ring. And he can play 1 minute. I mean, they're going to win it. It's like, why even play a season? It's done.
So you want him to stay in Cleveland and then maybe not win a championship?
For his own legacy, he needs to stay in Cleveland. He needs to fix that team, and make sure that he looks like he's the Michael Jordan of Cleveland. The same reason he said he didn't want to come here when the decision was made was because he didn't want to be living in the shadow of Michael Jordan, because Michael Jordan is Chicago. And I agree with that. I mean, look at even D Rose. We all forgot about him. You know what I mean? It's like he's done. This is a Michael Jordan town. Oh, it always will be. And it's never going to go away. Just like you sit here too and think about Bears too. Walter.
But if LeBron came here, people would like LeBron.
But I got to disagree with you, because Babe Ruth in New York, it was a Babe Ruth town. But then we had Jeter, Mickey Mantle, great players. LeBron could come here.
Yeah.
He'd be another great player.
I agree.
It could be the next Yankees if they wanted.
I'll be honest though, if LeBron did come here, we
would love LeBron. Yeah,
that would be a pretty kick-ass team.
Yeah. And you
think about like Lauri Markkanen, LeBron James at small forward. Shit, you can even put him at whatever. You keep Levine at shooting guard, Dunn at point guard, and then whoever we draft.
But this is the most important.
No, Lopez will be. You can't. You need Lopez to sign the full.
But this is the most important question. What number would you wear? Can you wear number 23? You wear number 9? What do you? No, 45 maybe.
That's Denzel's 45.
Yeah, 45 is Valentine.
Well, because Jordan came back.
What did LeBron wear in Miami? Was it 23 too?
Was it 23? Or was it 9?
Didn't he wear 6 or something?
Maybe it was 6. Yeah,
I think it was 6.
Yeah, maybe he wore 6 or something.
Yeah, no, he probably would wear like another. I don't know.
I think you were.
It doesn't matter.
No.
Right.
All right. Anyways, that's enough for LeBron. I think that he's got.
I think he has more heart than that.
I hope he does.
Yeah.
I don't know.
This is what happens when you let the players tell the GM who he wants on the team. LeBron demanded Tristan Thompson get a max deal and wanted J.R. Smith. And Stephen A. Smith was bitching about that, which I completely agree. Tristan Thompson is making $15 million for 2 points and 2 rebounds a game. That's a bunch of BS. And you got J.R. Smith, who can't hit a shot now anymore. But whatever. I guess LeBron's trying to be the GM/player. He's trying to pull a Pete Rose. No, Pete Rose was coach last.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah. It would be wonderful for the Bulls team if they did get LeBron. I still will not like him as a player. Well, I'm sort of in the same boat too, but I still like him.
Who's that from? Who's that from?
Scotty.
Oh, Scotty.
And then Wild Bill said the other one with the GM.
That was a good one by Bill. And Scotty too. That was good.
All right. So Mirotic trade. Bulls play not good. I'm rooting for the tank. We'll see what happens with that. And then that's it. So let's dig into right now the All-Star game.
Wait, hold on a second. How about the other trades? The Blake Griffin trade?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
I knew he had value.
I have tons of value.
So, yeah.
That's why you put him in the corner.
They are...
Tom Chris in the corner.
Tom
with
Chris
baby.
in the corner. I don't know.
No one puts Baby in a corner.
Well, the Clippers are trying to blow up the team as well too, and now I think DeAndre Jordan's on the trading block. They said, but I think that I don't know. I don't know if that's good for the Pistons. The Pistons have a lot more work to do than just bring Blake aboard.
Do you believe that Blake didn't know anything about it till he saw it on Twitter, or
no?
He had to know something, right?
Yeah. I mean, the only person I believe right now and stuff like that. Well, okay. There are sports teams, I think, that do unprofessional things like that. One of the prime examples right now is Cousins. Mm-hmm. They said that Cousins in the NFL has and still has not had any communication with the Washington Redskins, and even that they traded for Alex Smith right now, no one from the Redskins has contacted him or his agent to tell him, hey, you know what, Kirk, this is what we're deciding to do. I'm sorry, but we're going with Alex. We're not going to re-sign you. Thanks for your time. Thanks for your efforts, whatever, and good luck in your future. And I believe him. Maybe there's just bad blood between the Redskins and Kirk. I don't know. But I don't think with Blake. I think, and especially that owner of the Clippers, I think he sat down with him and told him, listen, this is what we're doing, and we're doing this because of that. And
yeah, but why? Luck. They could have kept him there.
Dude, Blake,
the fans loved him. The fans loved him.
Yeah, but that was the funny. I couldn't stop laughing for like 3 days, JackMann. Remember that tweet I sent you with Barkley and Shaq laughing about the whole fight in Houston?
Oh yeah.
I could not stop laughing about that. Where they were mocking Blake, and they were mocking him like that. He called the police on CP3, the small guy. It was just one of the funniest things in the world. And like Shaq was going nuts, and Barkley was like, "I've never heard this before." It was pretty comical, but I don't know. I think he knew about it.
He knew about it.
I think he did. Now, what do I think of the trade? Like I said, I think the Pistons have a lot more work than just bringing Blake aboard. I don't think they can do it with just Blake.
No, of course not.
They got a good player in Drummond.
What team?
He's a good big man.
You think will pick up Cousins? Jets, maybe? We spoke about that a little bit earlier. My pick is Denver. I think he's going to go to Denver and John Elway. So I think that'd be the best fit for him too, Scott. So we'll see what happens with that.
But you also did say Jets.
Jets is my second pick, but the thing is, I think he's going to have to settle to lose. If he goes to the Jets, he knows he's going to lose for a lot of years because they've got a lot. I mean, Forte is going to be leaving soon.
Who did they have on the Jets? The guy in the Bears, right? McCown?
They had
McCown, right?
Yeah, Josh McCown.
Yeah.
So
didn't he do decent?
Yeah, he did well.
Okay.
Yeah,
he did very well.
But he's not the guys who are going to take him to the next level and stuff.
They brought him back from the dead a few years back. I mean, this guy was like a high school coach.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So he's been impressive since he came back. He's been very impressive.
All right, so dunk contest. 4 participants were announced. So all of the festivities that are happening on the weekend were all announced. So dunk contest, and I like this a lot. Oladipo from the Pacers, Aaron Gordon from the Magic, Larry Nance Jr. from the Lakers, and Dennis Smith from the Mavs. All 4 guys are studs, man, in the dunk contest. How about people remember Nance, his father? Larry
I do.
Yeah,
I remember that.
Man,
solid player.
Old. Yeah.
We're old when we know these kids' dads.
I know.
Not just that. Wait, who? Well, we never really saw Walton play. Who's the coach for the Lakers? His father.
Yeah,
we never saw him.
Luke Walton.
I mean, I saw
a little
games
bit
of
on
his.
the bench, a little bit. How about Curry? Curry's father. I know we've seen him play in the Hornets.
And that guy, Dell had a shot, man.
Right.
Dell back in the day with the Charlotte Hornets. That guy had a shot. I remember that guy was lights out. Who else's dad is out there too? There's a lot of kids out there.
There's a lot of what's his name? Thompson. Clay.
Oh, I never saw his
Michael
father
Thompson.
play though.
He was on the Lakers. With some Showtime.
Yeah.
Solid
Magic.
player.
Yeah. Michael
Solid
Thompson.
Guy.
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Michael
Thompson.
With Magic.
Yeah, with Magic.
Yeah.
That's true.
That's pretty nuts. All right. So dunk contest, I think, is stacked. I think the only people that are going to watch it are probably me and JackMann. You watching it, Bo?
Probably not.
You watching it, Tom?
No.
I like it. I like it.
I love it. So I think that who's your picks? Who do you think?
Say the contestants again. Smith Jr.'s
Oladipo from the Pacers.
Okay.
He's strong.
Yes.
Gordon, who won it last year from the Magic. Aaron Gordon.
Yes.
Larry Nance Jr., who's pretty good, solid from the Lakers. And then Smith from the Mavs.
Gordon's probably favorite, but
Yeah.
Smith is a little guy who can really get up there.
Yeah, he is.
He's not real big, but he can fly. So sometimes
You're
the
going
guys get more.
Smith? I'm going
Nance?
Oladipo.
You're going on Depot?
Yeah. I think he's going to take it. I like
go
his
Smith.
dunks. All right, cool. 3-point contest. This is good too. Klay Thompson from Golden State, Paul George from OKC, Devin Booker from Phoenix, Bradley Beal from Washington, Wayne Ellington from Miami, Kyle Lowry from Toronto, Eric Gordon from Houston, and Tobias Harris from the Clippers.
You got to go Klay Thompson.
That's what I was going to say too. I think don't count Booker out. Devin Booker from Phoenix?
No, I like Devin Booker. He's a good young player.
Yeah, I like it. All right, now that I'm going to say that, who saw the leg break on that kid from Phoenix, man? Happened yesterday.
No, I didn't see it.
That was worse, dude, than what's his name's on Boston. Hayward. It was worse, man. The leg snapped from like the knee down. All the players just couldn't watch anymore. I mean, it was pretty rough, but I mean, I hope he's well. I mean, he's definitely out. Yeah. All right, skills competition. This is what I like to. I like the skills competition more and more every year.
Didn't Porzingis win it last year?
Yeah. So you got Lou
7'3" guy winning it.
You got Lou Williams, Jamal Murray from Denver, Spencer Dinwiddie. Wasn't he on the Bulls?
Dinwiddie.
He was on the Bulls, I think.
His name sounds familiar.
Yeah, he was from Brooklyn. Al Horford, which I don't know why he's in it for Boston. Embiid.
Oh, Joel Embiid.
76ers.
That guy's awesome.
The Unicorn.
Okay.
Donovan Mitchell. And then our boy, Lauri Markkanen, the finisher.
Oh.
So I'll be rooting for Lauri Markkanen.
You got to go with Lauri.
Yeah. So
who else I like a lot? Jamal Murray on the Nuggets.
Yeah, he's okay.
He's a solid player.
He's just on a team that doesn't really have any...
that much exposure?
Yeah. He doesn't have any, like, not just exposure, but I don't think they have anything going for them either. I don't think
they got Nurkic.
Yeah.
Nurkic is pretty decent.
Yeah.
But I hope Markkanen wins.
All right. All-star rosters. Number one question. Do you guys like this new format? First, do you know how the format went?
You got the captains and they pick, right?
Yeah. So they no longer did how the old days was, like the East versus the West. So what they did is they voted all the fans, and the top 2 vote getters became the captains.
Correct.
And then they had a draft, like a fantasy draft, to pick who they want. Now, I don't like this. And the reason is because you're going to get a lot of snubs, and these guys are going to pick sometimes people on their teams or people they like to play with.
Of course.
Which means that legit people who are having good seasons in the NBA are not going to be able to make it. So in any case, the 2 captains were Stephon Curry and LeBron James.
Correct.
So LeBron James's team, and he had one injured. His starting center was DeMarcus Cousins. He's injured. Starting power forward, Anthony Davis. Then you got Kevin Durant at forward, LeBron James at shooting guard, and Kyrie Irving, which was very shocking and surprisingly because they didn't get along in Cleveland. And it's funny how he picked him to be his point guard.
I think he had to pick him.
There was other people out there that he could have picked.
Like which one? Who would you pick?
He's got John Wall on the team. I don't know, Bradley Beal. I mean, he's got Westbrook. He's got. So I mean, he had other guys he could have picked. But in any case, so DeMarcus Cousins was out. He was subbed with Paul George.
Okay.
I don't know if Paul really should have been in the All-Star game this year. That's my opinion. But whatever. His bench players was LaMarcus Aldridge, which that's another one I'm not too sure about him being in there. Bradley Beal, Goran Dragic.
Yeah.
And he's
pretty good.
He replaced Kevin Love, who originally was on there.
Right. He had
which I don't think
hand.
And I don't think Kevin Love should have been on there. He hasn't been doing that great.
No.
So I mean, see, these are the things that I didn't like that were going on in there. Aaron Drummond, who he ended up replacing John Wall, who got injured. You have the Unicorn on there. Oladipo is on there too, which is a surprise, but he's playing well.
No, he's playing well.
Yeah, he's playing well. And then you got Westbrook as well too. So that's that side. And then Stephon Curry's side is Embiid at center, the Greek Freak at power forward, Harden at small forward, DeRozan at shooting guard, and then Curry at point guard.
I like it.
That's actually
I like
good starting team. And then you've got on his bench Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Al Horford, Damian Lillard, Kyle Lowry, Klay Thompson, and then Carl Anthony Towns. So I don't know. We'll see. But here's my issue with that stuff. Couple snubs I think that could have made it that didn't make it. Chris Paul, I think should have been in there. Lou Williams from the Clippers is having a great season too.
Yeah,
he's another no-name guy that probably didn't make it because he has no name.
Well, no, he's always like a great six man.
Ben Simmons from the 76ers is having an amazing year. He didn't make
that
it
guy's
either.
good.
Kemba Walker is having an amazing season. Didn't make it. Clint Capella, who's a free agent next year, and I'm hoping the Bulls go for him. Amazing season.
The
with
guy
Houston.
in the Rockets, yeah.
Yep. He didn't make it. Tyreek Evans from Memphis, solid year. And then you got Jokic, your buddy in Denver.
Yeah, he's playing good.
So, I mean, there's a lot of guys I think that could have made it and guys that shouldn't really have been on there. And they made it purely because LeBron's either friends with them or likes them, or Curry is friends with them or likes them, and they made it that way. Instead of saying, hey, we're going to pick the guys who have the best seasons or something.
Yeah, but you can't be surprised about that.
You would have done
the same thing. You would have done the same thing. You'd be like, hey, why don't you join the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Yeah, but then that's NBA's fault. They shouldn't have switched it to this format.
Well, they're going to try it out. And then
do you guys like this format?
No.
I'd
rather, and honestly, I don't like the voting either, because sometimes there's veterans that make it, like I just said, that really aren't having good seasons, and then they make it because just normal fans, like it's like Charles Barkley, unretired, came out, all of a sudden everyone knows his name and they'd vote for him. And you're like, dude, no. But
yeah.
So,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
In a way, they got to figure out another way. And I don't know, maybe if they just look at stats and they say, okay, we got to look at an overall, or just like baseball did. Baseball created a new line in their stats that actually incorporates every single stat that they have, and it gives them one number. And maybe from there, they take the top 12 and they go from there. But other than that, I just don't.
But this is what the fans want. They voted.
That's what I was just going to say.
So the fans, yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Finish your.
No, but the fans voted for the captains.
Yeah, but in the past, they would vote.
Yeah, but it becomes a popularity contest with the fan. I guess so.
Why not make the NBA All-Star game mean something like the MLB All-Star game? That would be good.
That's a good point.
Yes.
You know, like the winner of the Western Conference, they're going to get home court for the NBA championship.
Yeah,
it would be better because it would be better for the fans. It will make it more competitive
instead of a show.
Yeah, right now, let's face it, it's a show. Like, you know, NFL Pro Bowl, you know, NBA All-Star game.
It's just a show, like a glorified
How about not have an All-Star game?
Yeah,
no, they gotta have an All-Star game.
You have to.
You got to.
It's like a glorified Harlem Globetrotters.
Soccer doesn't have the soccer things don't have All-Star games.
Not yet,
but
only the MLS does.
I want to get at that point real fast, Sammy. It would make the All-Star game more interesting, but usually who gets the home field? The team with the better record, right? Right. So, like, there's two sides of that. Now, the team with the better record may not get the home field. So, like, I don't know if the All-Star game is more important than that. I mean, there's two different sides of thinking on that.
Especially if they're not playing serious either. You know what I mean? All of a sudden, someone may lose it and may affect who wins the championship or the finals.
I mean, they would play harder in the All-Star game, but it can affect the finals, like Nick is saying.
Yeah.
Because that team wouldn't get the – but you know what? It's all kind of rigged too, because a team in a Western Conference will have a harder time getting a better record than a team in it, theoretically, than a team in the Eastern Conference, because they're playing more tougher competition. So, you know what I mean? So, I don't know. And I don't know, but does home field matter that much in basketball? Not as much as in, like, football. And
no, it does.
Does it?
Yeah.
If the teams are evenly matched, I think home court's an advantage.
It is an advantage. It is an advantage, but I don't know.
All right, so that's it for NBA talk. We're going to go into JackMann's favorite subject right now.
I saw it was just basketball.
That's it for. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, he said it was basketball. Now go ahead.
Well, just one more. I got credit to Harding, 60 points. 10, Harden, 60 points, 10 rebounds, 10 assists, first time ever in the NBA. Right?
Wait, you're right.
That's amazing.
So that's the first. We're seeing some great records. Last year with Westbrook, triple-double for the whole season. I mean, those are some records I thought would never be broken.
You know what? Talking about Harden, I like him a lot. The way he plays, he's like smooth, he's like those
Very smooth.
Yeah, you remember those like karate movies, the way those guys just float, the way he dribbles those from the 70s. But what I didn't like about him last year, he didn't show up in the playoffs.
He didn't.
Remember that?
He's not clutch in the playoffs that much.
Yeah, he didn't do that, and it really surprised me. So I don't know. Let's see how he does this year, because that was disappointing to me how he played in the playoffs last year.
Yeah, I'm just giving him credit on the 60 points.
But that was never done.
Yeah, that was never done.
Done.
I'm just giving. I'm like, wow.
No, that's an incredible feat.
Yeah,
it was never done.
Nobody, like, I would think maybe not even Jordan, but Will Chamberlain could have done at least once, because he was scoring a lot of points, but not even him.
Yeah, right.
You know, maybe 10 blocks, 10 rebounds, and 60 points.
Maybe Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron could have. LeBron can possibly do it too.
LeBron, yeah, he can do it, but he's not a big time scorer.
He's not. He doesn't even try that hard to score.
This guy, I don't understand. He doesn't even try. He has so much talent. Okay, he should be
LeBron.
LeBron.
Yeah, he could score more if he wanted to.
He's lazy.
No, he's not lazy. He's one of the hardest working guys. His workout regime, he's not lazy.
You know what? Believe it or not, though, I went to the Bulls game this year and I watched him, and I was surprised. He took some plays off.
Oh,
I really was. He was cherry picking a few times.
Lazy.
Honestly, I was really shocked, and and I'm not like a huge fan, but I was asking my friend. I was at the game. I'm like, was LeBron always like this? Because I don't know if he got older. It didn't look like he was. He was like smart. He was playing smart. He was kind of pacing himself.
Like
He wasn't going like you would think he was going.
Like
Honestly,
Jared Allen when he was
shocked.
on the Bears.
Yeah, Jared Allen. Yeah, remember he had like the best motor, and then all of a sudden
he took
that
a month stuff.
Who
That
went
guy
to camp
robbed
with
us.
me?
He
Who went to
robbed
camp
us.
with me? Was it?
I
Were you?
think I was there.
That guy didn't do jack at camp. Dude. He sat on his helmet the whole time. I'm like, are you serious? We signed this guy, and he just was the biggest flop.
Yeah, he was known for his high motor.
You know who else is like
too.
that? If you come to camp with us this time, JackMann?
Who?
The guard Sitton from Green Bay.
But he's an all-star.
Lazy. That guy just stands around, dude. Does nothing
he's got
in
back
camp.
problems.
So you're calling LeBron lazy, or
No.
Yeah, I've seen him. There's times he doesn't play all like 100% like what he can. His capability. He could play a lot
You're
more and a
absolutely
lot
right.
harder.
You're absolutely
and he
right.
doesn't. Now, to Sammy's like statement, yeah, he may be trying to play smarter so he can conserve his energy, but I don't know. I think he can do a lot more.
I agree.
Jared Allen was on the Bears. Yes, he was. You don't remember that? Or am I am I drunk right now?
No, he was on the Bears.
Yeah, he was on the Bears.
Where? He was on the Vikings, Chiefs, and Bears, right?
Yeah, and then he from the Vikings he came here. Look it up, Scotty. He was on the Bears, man.
Was it?
But he didn't do much.
Was
Maybe
it a
that's why
year
it
or
was for
two?
good.
It was like
Well,
I think
It was a year.
I think
or
a
two.
year. And
Yeah.
then the second year we
Yeah.
traded him to Carolina.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And then he was in the Super Bowl or something, wasn't he? It's like, how does this lazy guy end up in the Super Bowl, dude? He just ends up on the team. All right, so we're gonna switch over, go into boxing.
There you go.
And JackMann's pretty much gonna run it, and I'll fill in. But he wants to talk baseball.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you guys how you felt. I hear this question a lot, and I just wanted to go around the table and see how you guys felt. What do you guys feel about the DH?
In the American League, or about the DH coming to the National League?
Yeah, are you guys for it or against?
Listen, I think, my opinion, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
either they're going to have it in both leagues or no leagues. That's my opinion. Go ahead.
I grew up a Cubs fan. I'm old school. I don't like the DH. I don't like it.
I like it.
You guys like it, huh? Yeah, I don't like it.
I
think
like
it takes away from the game.
You don't like it?
It takes away a little bit from the game, the coaching aspect, and I prefer the National League style of play.
Me too. I think there's a lot of thinking
Yeah,
going
but hold
into
on.
it.
How do you think it takes away from the coaching aspect?
Well, because there are certain times where you might have a couple runners on, and the coach has to decide: should I bring in a pinch hitter and take this guy out of the game, or should I keep him in?
Okay.
Exactly.
I can see that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. You got
Yeah, because then
decisions
if
to
your
make.
pitcher's coming up, you're like, oh, should I really keep
Right.
my pitcher in? Should I not keep him in?
Right. There's two men on base and we're losing by one. Should I pinch hit for him? Now he's out, but he was pitching well. So that's a decision to make. That's why I like the National League style better. I grew up a Cubs fan too, and I like the National League style much better. And I don't think they should take the DH out.
Yeah, I think
I don't
do.
think they should. I don't think they should put the DH
In the
to the
National.
National League. No.
So I think that if they want scoring, then obviously you add that. But I don't think that's an issue right now. And I think people are happy with watching baseball as long as it's a good defensive game, a coaching game. I don't think fans really want to see games like 9-8 or 11-7 and whatever. I think they're just happy with games that are good coached and pretty strong and like having good pitching outings.
I don't know. I think the newer generation now, I mean, these millennials, they just want everything faster. I don't think baseball, there's just not enough scoring in it anymore.
Yeah, you know, how many people they were saying with the home run thing?
No, but remember back in the day, we would sit down, we would watch a baseball game for 3
1-0.
hours. No, but we would watch the game. We would sit there, we watch the game. I don't think that happens anymore. How many people actually sit down and watch a whole game of baseball?
I watch playoff.
You watch the whole game?
Yeah, I'll watch the whole game. I won't watch.
Okay.
I don't honestly. Well, there'll be a couple games in the season, but not like when I was a kid. There's a couple games in the season. Like I'm a Sox fan, not Red Sox. This is a Wade Boggs jersey. One of my favorite guys.
Speaking of baseball, guys, who's your all-time favorite Chicago player? Me, Andre Dawson.
Oh, he's right there to the right.
Well, you guys, who's your favorite?
Ryan Sandberg.
Sandberg's up there.
Yep.
I like Dawson Sandberg too.
Dawson.
Yeah. I met Andre Dawson.
Hey, remember we met Greg Maddux, man.
Yes.
Yeah, remember we got his autograph. Yeah.
Yes. I still got that. He was like 20, 21 years old. He was like a rookie.
Before he went to Atlanta.
Yeah, my number one is Ryan Sandberg. My number 2 is Carlton Fisk.
Really? Okay.
That's a tough one. I used to, when I was younger, I used to root for the Bull, Leon Durham.
Oh yeah.
For his days.
Okay.
Yeah,
you know who else I like? Sean Dunston.
Yeah, Sean Dunston.
Yeah, he had a cannon.
That guy was a prick, man.
He was a prick, but he had a cannon in his arm, and he could run.
Was a pitcher. He was a famous,
but he was a prick,
pitcher,
man.
Right?
That guy never signed autographs for anybody.
Really?
Yeah, that guy used to like.
I heard he was.
Yeah, he would be the first one that would walk out and not even sign autographs and stuff.
I think I might have liked Sandberg was there longer. I like Sandberg, but when Dawson came, I was a big Dawson fan too. The Hawk, because I liked the way he played. I never really remember seeing this. He threw guys out from first base.
Yeah,
he did.
He was a beast.
From the right field.
From right field.
Yep. He was a beast.
Yeah, and then when I seen that, I'm like, holy shit, I've never seen this before.
Yeah. I'm a Sandberg fan. Carlton Fisk 2, and then 3rd is the Big Hurt, Frank Thomas.
Oh, we're talking about Cubs.
Oh.
I like the pitcher too, Fergie Jenkins.
The old guy. Wow, you're showing your age right now, dude. I don't remember Fergie.
I remember Fergie.
How about Lee Smith? He was good.
Lee Smith.
Yes,
Dennis Eckersley.
The closer.
Yeah, so then he went to Oakland.
Dennis Eckersley was a starter for the Cubs.
Yes,
he was.
And then they converted him to
closer in Oakland.
and he became one of the best of all time.
Yeah.
Goose Gossage.
Rick Sutcliffe.
Rick Sutcliffe was good too. The Red Baron.
Jody Davis, the catcher.
Yeah, the catcher.
Yeah, this is what we're reminiscing here.
Oh man.
Manny Trio.
Yeah. Keith
Moreland, Ron Say.
Ron Say, the Penguin.
Yeah. Mark Grace on first.
Mark Grace was good.
He's one of my other favorite Cubs.
Yeah, he was good. He wouldn't strike out
until he fell asleep with Ryan Sandberg's wife.
Well, hey, come on.
Shit went downhill after that.
Even David Martinez, Rafael Palmeiro, everybody
David
was
Martinez was with Sandberg's wife.
Dude.
David Martinez, he was with everybody.
Wow.
You didn't know this?
No.
That's why they were trading the players away.
I thought it was just Grace.
Yeah,
no.
David Martinez.
Dude, that's why they traded everybody away.
Rhino's wife. What the hell? All right, so
even some of the
remember
fans.
Jerome Walton in center?
Jerome Walton.
Yeah, it was him and Dwight.
Then he had
Dwight Smith.
Dwight Smith.
Rookie of the year.
Walton had a 32-game hitting streak his rookie year.
His rookie year, I remember.
Yeah.
What about who's that guy? Remember Glenn Allen Hill that hit the ball on the rooftops?
Yeah, that guy was huge.
That guy was on the roids, man.
Yeah, big time.
Man,
I don't even remember that guy.
Oh, dude, he was
1 year.
Hey, did you guys see Sammy Sosa lately, man? The guy's fucking
dude's
ridiculous. White. What the hell did he do to him?
Yeah, he bleached his skin like Michael Jackson.
It's ridiculous. Yeah.
I don't know.
And then did you hear about the Ricketts telling them that he's not welcome back to the team until he admits what he did?
What did he do?
Well, through the whole steroid use.
Okay, I got you.
He's not going to admit it.
He wants him to admit before. So Sammy's trying to become part of the team. Bill Buckner is my all-time favorite. Bill.
Another Bill. Yeah, it was
that
good.
Shows your age too, dude. I don't remember.
I remember Bill Buckner. Yeah,
he was.
I remember him, but I never remember him playing for the Cubs.
But then going back about this, like the steroid era, baseball was losing fans, and they had to. They had to do something. So that's why they're like, okay, let it go. They brought the fans back.
And what's your take on
that's
steroids?
A good point.
Larry,
were.
who's
They were
Larry
losing.
Boa?
They were.
Larry Boa. Oh yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Larry Boa.
Scott
He
said
I love it.
Larry
Ron
Boa.
said.
Scott,
He
give
was
me
on
some
the
more, man.
Phillies too, right?
Larry
He was a
Boa.
coach,
Larry
too.
Boa.
I remember as a coach. I don't
Bob
remember.
He was a coach,
Denier.
too.
There you go,
Bob
Scotty.
Denier,
Top
yeah.
that one. Bob
Yeah.
Denier.
Center field.
There
Yep.
you go.
Oh,
Oh,
man.
man.
Bobby
Bob
De Niro.
Denier.
He used to throw the ball to
can
Dawson
hear
so he can
Carey's
throw it in.
voice
You
right
remember
now.
that? He used to
Yeah,
throw it to
yeah.
Dawson so Dawson can throw it in.
Who?
Or Bob De
Bob
Niro.
Denier.
Yeah, he used to toss it to Dawson. He could throw it.
Yeah. He did,
Yeah.
yeah.
He didn't have
Would
the
come
arm. I
off
mean,
the
who had the
ivy.
arm like
Yeah, would
Dawson?
come off the ivy, would throw it to Dawson. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
seriously, I
true.
remember
swear,
that. Yeah.
That's a
Um,
good memory. You're right, Jackman. I remember that.
That's nuts.
That's right.
Oh,
Oh,
God. That's why
man.
I
they
love those guys,
Can-
man. Hey,
Can-
Dawson was cool when I met him. I told
Candy
him,
Maldonado.
oh,
Candy
Oh
Maldonado?
yeah,
He
I
was
remember
on
that. He was
there,
like
yeah.
a pinch hitter, I think, wasn't he? He was a good pinch
I
hitter.
think he was a first
Who
baseman or a catcher.
did we go to get Andre Dawson signatures at the Brickyard? I was there with. Were you there, Nick? Or
I
Home
wasn't
Depot.
there.
Home Depot? Yeah,
yeah,
Home
we
Depot.
went together, right?
It was yeah.
Oh,
Jackman, me,
God,
and then,
this is
was it
classic.
Mike the Serbian?
No.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
How did we know about that? Was like in
I
04.
no, I
You
knew
told me?
about it, and I told everybody. And then I think the day before, 2 days before,
You were-
we went to Sporn Bar and we got the
balls?
the balls,
Yeah, the real
authentic
balls.
ones. And then we went and he signed them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good time.
I liked Buckner. Who
You still
remembers
got the
Thad?
ball, right?
Do you guys
Yeah, I
remember
got it.
Thad Bosley?
Oh,
I don't.
remember.
No, I don't
Matt
remember.
Mosley.
No,
Wow,
I don't
you
remember him.
stumped
Nah.
us, Scotty.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's a legit player or not.
I don't think his name was Stan. I remember Bosley, but that was it Thad the first name?
I don't
He
know.
stumped us.
I don't know.
All right. Anyways, baseball.
Not 1800s, 1900s. Okay, please.
You know, you mentioned steroids earlier. What we
Yeah.
think about that? I think a lot of athletes are on them these days.
Okay, so here's my question, because I hear a lot of shows that always talk about steroids, and I like the subject. What's your take on them? Because there's some, I guess, arguments that I hear that are for them, and in a way, I agree. I mean, Tuffy Rhodes, that is a good one. I forgot about him.
That was good.
Isn't he the one that hit 3 home runs in his first game or something? He did something in his first
you're
game.
right. He did do something.
He did like three
Like
home
home
runs
or something like that.
Oh,
you're right. You're right.
Yeah, the first
in
game,
his
right?
first game as a
Yeah.
Cub, and he got 3 home runs in this first
And
game.
ever since
And
then,
there was
then
another
he
guy,
disappeared.
Jeff Pico.
Jeff
His
Pico.
first
Oh, I
start.
remember
his first
him.
start, he had a shutout, or he had like
Yeah,
almost like
pitcher.
a no hitter or something, and then he
Yeah.
like bombed after that.
Who was that,
I remember
uh,
that name a little bit.
Doug DeCenzo.
Doug, this
Yeah,
little guy,
yeah,
that little
yeah.
guy, little guy.
He was like 5'6",
Yeah,
5'7".
yeah. I think he was.
Doug
Yeah, I
DeCenzo.
remember him.
How about who else? There was another catcher that was like Italian last name. Oh my God! How about
Joe Girardi?
Yeah.
Damon
Yeah, Joe
Berryhill?
Girardi's good.
I met
Damon
Joe Girardi at a McDonald's. Man, I was a kid. I was a
Remember
kid with
Damon
my dad. I met
Berryhill?
him. Yeah,
He was cool.
yeah, Damon Berryhill.
Yeah.
He was all right.
Yeah. Anyway, steroids. So here's the thing with steroids. So many athletes take them, and there's the argument I hear from either professional athletes that have retired, and I don't want to name names or whatever, but they say when you're an athlete, you have a certain amount of years, and they're very short. It's not like when your career that's not whatever. You can work from 20 years old to 65, and you have such a long span to do what you have. But when you're an athlete, you're making your most money in within a 10-year span.
if that.
If you
Yeah.
get injured.
And then the NFL
So-
is like 3.5.
Right.
If someone wants to
Yeah.
do steroids and it helps them with their performance, then let them do that so they can make the most money they can from it. So, and the reason he's saying this is because he's like, everyone else is doing it. So why are we sitting back and not doing it while other players are capitalizing on their contracts? He's like, might as well just let everybody do it so it's an even playing field. Now, I know it's unhealthy, and I know now we're starting to see people pass away in their 40s and their early 50s because of that. And no, it's not out yet, but there's going to be a point where I think the medical field is going to start saying, hey, These athletes are dying because of their steroid usage.
I mean, who's really died from steroids though? I don't really know anybody.
I can say I can name wrestlers that have, in
Oh,
my
wrestlers,
opinion,
that's okay.
Wrestlers,
Okay,
yeah.
That have
wrestlers,
died.
That's different.
I knew you were
Okay.
going to go to the wrestling,
Yeah.
but wrestling
Doing
popped in
wrestling.
my head too. No, wrestling did pop in my head.
Well,
too,
Eddie
man.
Guerrero passed away, and they said his heart literally just stopped and popped, but that's because of his over excess of steroid usage. And I mean, right now, and there's, I mean, in football, anytime someone passes away, they're blaming it on concussions, which we can, but
CT, yeah.
I mean, in baseball and stuff, once these guys are starting to go, they're gonna have to link it together and say it's probably from steroid usage. So
I think the majority of athletes are on steroids.
I think 80%.
You guys are gonna call me crazy, and people are probably gonna hate me for this, but I think Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen were on steroids. I think they transformed the game. Look at when Jordan first started; they were very skinny. Him and Pippen, they were very skinny. They played a very long career. They played like 35, 36, 37 years old. They were still playing at a high level. And I think those guys were like the pioneers for basketball.
Basketball?
Hey, guys, watch a game from the 80s. Look at how skinny these guys were. I mean, it was like a completely different man.
Yeah,
They
but
didn't have
wouldn't
no muscle
steroids
on them.
slow you down?
It depends. There's like, man, it's
They'd
like
be
a
just be
science.
taking a different steroid.
It's like a science. They got like 100
and
different
steroids really has not really hit basketball yet.
Or maybe he
Do they
has, but
test
we just
for it?
don't know it.
Do
Oh,
they test
yeah.
for it?
Yeah, I don't think
No,
they
I don't
test.
even know if they
do.
test for
I don't
it.
think they want to test for it.
They probably don't.
They don't want to know the truth.
It'll be a black. Yeah, it'll
No.
be a black eye to the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Right now, what they're saying that the football NFL is the biggest sport in America, and in 20 years, they're expecting the NBA to overtake the NFL.
Yeah, Kareem
'Cause
said
of the-
that.
because of the multiple countries that are interested.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Rick Wilkins.
Oh yeah, I remember him. Hey, here's
I
another
don't.
thing, guys. Remember when we were kids? You were 32, 33 years old. Your career was over.
Yeah.
Now these guys, they're playing 38, 39, 40 years old, and they're playing at a high level. Look at Tom Brady. I'm not saying Tom Brady's on steroids, but 40 years old. I mean, that's unbelievable.
It is.
It really is.
Was Ken Caminiti ever a Cub?
Astro.
Mm.
I thought
Yeah, he
Astro
was.
too. No, he might have been on the Cubs for a year.
Only
I
one
think.
year.
I think so.
I remember Rick Wilkins.
Yeah, I remember Rick Wilkins
he's
too.
a lefty.
All right. Let's jump. Anything else about baseball? Oh, he died
Yeah.
of steroids, Ken Caminiti.
Right.
Oh, okay.
I do remember.
Yeah,
that,
I do remember
Yeah.
that now. So, I mean, they're out there, man. You got a lot of guys out there that.
It's everywhere.
Yeah,
now.
but
it's
do
everywhere,
we
guys.
agree that they can take them or not take them?
I'm for just, since everyone's doing it and they're not giving the punishment out there to stop it, and they're not putting the fear in people to stop it, then just let everyone do it. Let it be an even
I
playing field.
disagree with that because of the kids. What about like the young
Right.
athletes? They're all going to start doing it. So you got to, set a barrier there.
Just don't
You
say
can't
anything.
just say do it.
Yeah, I don't know. It's people dying
You
from
can't
that and stuff.
Listen, you can't not say anything. You see these big monster guys at the plate, and they're holding a little like they look like a toothpick.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you can't say nothing.
Speaking of that, holding it, did you guys see the trailer for Andre the Giant's show on HBO?
Yeah. Yeah.
That is crazy. That's going to be really good to see.
But I mean, if
I heard about it, but I want to see it.
Yeah, it's not out yet, but it will be.
if you work out good and you eat good, you in creatine and protein, and you can get fairly strong too. Especially now with the science they got, the guys working out and
with all
stuff.
these like shakes and stuff.
I mean,
that
what
they
do
have.
you guys think?
I mean, it's not like the
But it's too much
steroids.
hard work.
It's more hard work.
Yeah, and then
it's a harder
steroids is
run.
an easier way out, and it gets you stronger,
It
even
gets
more
you
than
stronger, and it gets you to recover quicker.
Guys, listen to me. Steroids is common everywhere. Even actors. Look at the Rock.
Oh, they said
You
yeah.
think
they
the Rock? You
transform.
think the Rock's not taking steroids?
No,
Come
they,
on,
they
guys,
just
of course.
announced that they caught another dealer, and in that dealer, they said Mark Wahlberg was one of the guys that were on this
course.
list.
How about Sylvester
Mm.
Stallone?
Stallone
Oh,
did. He
Stallone,
admitted
he
it.
admitted it.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, there's no
Schwarzenegger, all those,
when you're getting six pack, these like awesome bodies. Yeah, Jordan, Scottie Pippen. I didn't think about it. Maybe
Yeah.
they did. I don't know.
I'm
But
telling
they
you.
were ripped. You
They
got
were
some
ripped.
players to rip. Now,
Yeah, they
Shaq,
were skinny when they came.
I don't think he did. Maybe he did, but he's a big boy.
Shaq was
Shaq's
too
naturally
big, I think,
powerful.
yeah.
Yeah, but when you guys perfect bodies, athletes, you gotta like, come on. This is not I
But
don't
those guys are genetically gifted too. When they work out, they're
to a point.
yeah.
I don't know. I'm sort of. I really don't care about the steroid thing anymore.
But I do think it is more rampant than we know about. I do.
Yeah.
How much?
So you're
I don't
talking-
know. How much is it? I don't know.
So you're talking across all sports: baseball, football, soccer, tennis,
All sports.
all
If someone
sports.
tells you take this is going to help you play or make more money.
You wouldn't take. Listen, put yourself.
Of course, I would take it.
Okay, thank you. I was going to say,
Who wouldn't?
Put yourself as you're a sports athlete. You just started in the league. You're making a rookie contract for the first 2 years, $2 million. You had great stats. Now there's a guy that you know you're better than, but now all of a sudden somehow he performed better, and he just made $100 million contract. And now you get jealous. You're going to tell me you wouldn't do that same thing so you can get $100 million and I get $2 million.
Human nature.
Right.
Yeah.
But do
Human
I think
nature.
it should be allowed? No. I do think because of the kids and because of the health, anything overuse is no good. And if we know something's harmful to our bodies, then it should not be allowed. But
There's a lot of harmful things.
there is a lot of harmful things. That's true.
That we have free will, and that is up to us to decide. But it's a tough topic.
Yeah,
Online.
it is tough and go back and forth.
I mean, steroids. I mean, they changed careers. Look at Rafael Palmeiro.
Yeah, you're absolutely
I mean,
right.
he was in a power hitter, and and all of a sudden this guy's hitting 40 dingers a year.
Over 500 homers. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
Wild Bill says, me and Big Nick don't take steroids. Look at our tremendous bodies. I agree with that, Bill. All right. You want to jump over to boxing?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. I wish I had like a ding, ding, ding.
You had that last week, didn't you?
Yeah, but I'm
Couple
trying to
weeks
find
ago.
one on the soundboard, and I don't have one on the soundboard. I have to get one on the soundboard.
All right. Let's recap last week's fight. Or I want to go back a couple weeks and recap the
Peterson.
Earl Spence and Peterson fight. Did you guys see that one?
I saw it, but not live, but I saw it later.
Okay.
Spence chewed him up.
Yeah, and like I said before, Peterson fought everyone tough except Lucas Matisse. He's the only one who was able to get him out of there via knockout. Everyone else he fought tough and he hung in. This guy Earl Spence, he's a new monster at 147 pounds. He's fast. He's a southpaw. He punches really hard. I mean, he was sparring wasn't he sparring with guys like Charlo and them, and they're saying he punches like a middleweight.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's unbelievable. He was in the Olympics, 147 rising 147 star. Keith Thurman doesn't want to fight him this year in 18. They asked him. I seen an interview. He's like, "No, baby, you ain't gonna see it in 18." So not many guys want to fight this guy. I give Peterson credit. Peterson has a lot of heart. Lamont has a lot of heart, and he would have died on the ring. That was touching. If you guys seen that fight, that was touching. It's like a father figure. He adopted him, basically, Barry Hunter, because Lamont Peterson and his brother were homeless. They were in Washington, and Barry Hunter took them into the gym and raised these guys. And it almost made me cry when I seen that. When he stopped the fight, he said, "This is my son, man. This is my son. I'm not going to let him get hurt." But anyways, Earl Spence is a real deal, guys.
What do you think his next bout is? I agree. I think that he showed who he really is in this last fight. Who do you think he's going to go at it with next?
it's so hard to say. Nobody wants to fight this guy. I mean, there's nobody that really wants to fight him.
And he said,
I'd love to see him fight Crawford.
Yeah, and we were talking
magic
with
wand,
JackMann. Remember when we were talking about it 2 weeks ago, JackMann? And or no, who I was talking with someone that he was dodging a lot of these fighters.
A lot of fighters are
A lot of fighters are
Spence is not-
ducking him.
right.
Yeah.
Right. Crawford's 140s. Did he go up to 147 or they're talking about him going up, Sammy?
they're talking about him, but with his body, he's eventually going to go up.
Yeah, he's tall.
And didn't he want to fight Canelo?
Yeah, there was some talk about
But
that.
he would have to move up and Canelo would have to move down or something.
I don't think you should
That's-
do that.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah, he'll
No.
get
That's
beaten
not-
up.
Well, I don't know for
I don't
sure.
know about that. I don't know.
Oh.
Well, usually when you go up in weight, we've seen it detrimental to Khan, but Spence is not. Khan is no Spence. Well, Khan was great, but he has a faulty defense. He's a great boxer. He's fast, and he did well. Actually, he did well with Canelo. I thought Khan until he
Yeah.
got hit.
I thought he did solid.
Yeah,
too.
he was outboxing him for a little bit, but his defense. But anyways, what I'm trying to say is Cal Brook, He's also one of my favorite fighters.
Yes.
I did not like when he went up to against Triple G. He was also doing well in beating Triple G. I saw it in a couple early rounds, but Triple G hurt him more with his punches. So I generally don't like that when guys move up a couple weight classes. Unless they clean out their division first, then go up, then it's more, I guess, appropriate. But when they just go up like that, I mean, they can do whatever they want. I'm just not a crazy fan of it.
You know, me personally, I think it's exciting, though. I think those fights are exciting. Like when Khan fought Canelo, you know,
they are.
Brooke fought Golovkin. It brings a different dimension to the game. Like back in the old days, they used to do that. You know, it was a pretty common thing. They don't do that anymore.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
I thought the fights were interesting. I mean, of course, the bigger man usually wins. But
right?
It's nice for the fans. Not good for the fighter, though.
No, it's not good for the fighter.
Yeah.
You know what? Brock, I wish he would have fought Khan and all those guys at 147. He's a little bit damaged now, but I think he could still come back. He's a great fighter, and I like him. Hopefully he comes back and does well.
Yeah, that guy, I mean, he's got a heart of a lion. Think about it. He took on 2 guys back-to-back that nobody wanted to fight.
Right.
Yeah, nobody wanted to fight Triple G. Nobody wanted to fight Spence.
No. And I wanted to talk, since we're talking about Spence in the 147 division, I was looking up, if I could find it here, I was looking up Ring Magazine's who their top 10 is. And they had Pacquiao in there. They had, I can't find it now.
He's too old.
Yeah,
Pacquiao's way too old.
Yeah,
he was at the bottom of the list, but he was in there.
They were actually talking about Pacquiao. I forgot who they were setting him up with the next fight. But he was getting set up too for another fight.
Yeah, he wants to fight somebody. He's too old. They had Jeff Horn in there. I can't find it now. But who do you guys think is a top 147?
Didn't Oscar De La Hoya want to come out?
Yeah, I heard Oscar De La Hoya wanted to come back.
Wasn't it? Wait,
Oscar De La Hoya's
like
like
publicity.
$100 million. I'm coming out.
He's 44 years old.
Dude, I'll fight Mayweather.
Pacquiao with Lomachenko? No.
There was some talk of that.
Yeah, they're talking about Freddie Roach is over here saying too that Pacquiao would walk through Lomachenko if he plays around.
At this point, I'll favor Lomachenko.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean
Lomachenko's, you know,
he's a lot smaller, but still, he's the number 1 Lomachenko. Oh yeah, here it is, guys. I'm just gonna run this over real. Yeah, I think Lomachenko is one of my favorite fighters too. And I want to talk about him some, but here's what they got. Okay, they got Keith Thurman,
number 1.
Yeah, they got Earl Spence Jr. number 2, Sean Porter number 3, Cal Brook number 4, Danny Garcia number 5, Jeff Horn number 6, Manny Pacquiao number 7.
He shouldn't be on there.
Jesse Vargas number 8, Lucas Matisse number 9, and Lamont Peterson number 10. What do you guys think of this list, and would you change it?
I think there's a couple people that shouldn't be on there. Pacquiao shouldn't be on there, I don't think.
The list it's not really particularly strong. I think like Earl Spence is phenomenal. I think Thurman is right there. You know, Cal Brook is worthy. But if you mix and match those guys, you can make some pretty good matchups there.
Yeah, and how about Danny Garcia too, right? He's fighting. Oh, Danny Garcia lately, I don't know. He fights these guys, Bam Bam, who's been away, and he's fought at 135. Now he's coming back. I don't think that's that. I don't know. I'm not crazy about that fight. What do you guys think about that? Bam Bam fighting Garcia.
I think Bam Bam, he's been in a lot of wars. I don't even know why he's in the ring.
He should have just stayed retired,
he
right?
Should have hung it up. I
mean, he was good for a while, but he has been all his fights are tough.
They're also saying Pacquiao versus Matisse.
I would like to see that.
I would too.
Yeah, it's a good payday for Matisse.
Yeah,
and I think it'd be a hell of a fight.
And I guess Golden Boy's really trying to make this fight happen. So
I think that would be a good fight.
Who would you favor?
I'd
probably pick Matisse.
They're saying mid-April.
Who would you pick, JackMann?
Matisse. I think Pacquiao's too old, man.
I agree.
And I think if Pacquiao loses this, he's got to just give up and just not do it again.
Matisse could knock him out, but because he punches hard. But I don't know. I might go with Pacquiao.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because I don't think Matisse is going to be the same now since his defeat to Posto. I think he's dangerous because he punches hard, but I don't think he's gonna. I think he could probably beat a champion because of his punch, but I don't think he's gonna go to that. echelon. This guy thought about retirement. He was off for a while, for a good while after he lost, and I don't know if Pacquiao can still bring it like he can't bring it like he could, but if he could bring it enough, I think he could win.
How about Broner talking shit about Khan?
I would like to see that.
Yeah, Broner's claiming, he goes, I want to knock out Amir Khan. It wouldn't take that much.
I mean, Broner's lost, pretty much every big fight he's been in. But that being said, he fights everybody.
He does. He doesn't duck nobody.
He'll take any fight.
No,
he'll
he doesn't.
take, and he's got a name. I mean, he could have probably ducked more guys if he wanted to.
No,
he's a money guy.
Yeah, Broner's tough. He doesn't duck anybody. That's true.
He's just not busy enough.
No, he only punches a minute a round.
And I don't know what that is. I don't know if he's poorly trained, but he's got a phenomenal chin.
What's your?
And he punches hard too.
What's your take?
Fast hands.
Hottest thing. What's your take on our boy Money Mayweather going into the UFC?
You'll never see it.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with JackMann. You'll never see it.
I say it happens.
Really? No way.
Yes.
He's not going to embarrass himself. So he's 40 years old. There's no way he's going to the UFC.
He's sending tweets out now that he's practicing in the UFC. The last 4 days, he's got tweets out there that he's in the octagon and he's training on the floor to be to fight in the octagon. He told, what's his name, Dana White, that he will make $1 billion for Dana White in that fight. It'll be the first $1 billion fight. And then all of a sudden yesterday, McGregor starts taunting him on Twitter. So they're already starting it, and then they're going to create this ruckus, and then I think he's going to announce, yeah, I'm going, and then I say we see it.
Mayweather will never do it. Mayweather's a master of promoting himself. I mean, he was one of the best all-time boxers, but he's also one of the best all-time promoters. I mean, this guy he just knows how to say certain things that gets fans interested. There's no way I'll almost guarantee you. I mean, I would bet practically any amount of money that there's no way he fights in the octagon.
What do you think, Tom?
No way.
Honestly, he loves money.
Yep.
And I think his dream is to become a billionaire. And even if he fights in the octagon, he's supposed to lose. No one expects him to win. So if he can get away with maybe 250 million, 300 million clean money in his pocket, I think the money team, I think he might do it.
How much did he make with that McGregor fight? What was
150?
Oh, somewhere along
million?
Yeah.
Something like that.
That's crazy.
McGregor, I think he made 100 million. So I think he made 150, 200. I could be wrong.
What did you guys think about that fight? I think McGregor.
Clown show. Yeah.
I don't know. I think McGregor gave a good account of himself. I really do.
He did, but
he
won a
right.
couple rounds. No, he won a couple rounds. How many boxers did that against Mayweather? He probably won more rounds than any boxer.
Yeah,
did.
but did he let him win?
He didn't let him win. No. People say that, Mayweather carried him. That's bullshit. Yeah. He didn't let.
I didn't see the fight because I knew it was going to be disappointing, and I didn't see it.
What do you think, JackMann? Do you think Mayweather carried him? I don't think so.
Okay, I don't think he carried him, but I didn't think he pressed him until later. Once he felt, Mayweather usually does that. He don't press people until he feels them weakening up a bit.
Well, McGregor's got a different kind of style, though. I think he threw Mayweather off a little bit for the first few rounds, and he's bigger.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. He's bigger, he's longer, his arms are longer, he's a southpaw, and he was moving around kind of awkwardly, and he did have good movement. He did move to the left and to the right, and he pivoted pretty good. I think that bothered Mayweather. The thing is, he didn't punch real hard. He didn't punch hard for a boxer at that weight class. What was he like? They fought at 154, right? He didn't punch real hard for a boxer at that weight class. Yeah. So, in my opinion, but I do think he did a good account of himself.
Solid. There was talk of him fighting Malignaggi. I'll take him over Malignaggi.
Hey, here's the purse. You ready for this?
What is it?
McGregor got 127 million.
Yeah, and it was over 100 million. I knew that.
Floyd got $400 million in that fight.
Okay.
Wow.
So
you're going to tell me they're going to leave? They'll probably get more than that to see it in the UFC.
Yeah. So Floyd will be walking away at least 500 million to $1 billion.
Yeah.
And that's what he wants.
I don't think you'll see him in that cage.
I don't think so either.
No.
I don't think.
I just don't.
In that cage.
He might put someone in a ring again, maybe like one of those. I don't know, McGregor again in the ring. I don't think you'll see him in the cage. No,
I think we'll see it.
I wouldn't bet on it,
and I won't pay for it.
I wouldn't bet on it. Nope.
No, I wouldn't either.
I don't want to see it either.
McGregor will destroy him.
Yeah,
He'll destroy him.
Yeah, so destroys him in what? In the first round, 1 minute. He walked away with 500, 600, 700 million.
Hey, another Mike Tyson all over again.
yeah, but this guy's 50-0. He doesn't want to go.
But you know
and
what?
Get beat up. I know it's not boxing.
But it's not boxing. So
I know.
It's not. It's out of his element.
Yeah, but you know what? Mayweather can just tell McGregor, "Hey, let's do a rematch."
Right.
He can make money in a rematch.
That's
Yeah,
right.
but no one's gonna watch it. No one's gonna watch
they'll
that.
watch it. They know how to sell the fight. McGregor will hype it up. You know,
So-
they can get in a little boxing
Yeah,
match
they can
during
start
the
fighting
conference.
and then
fake.
interview.
It was
Yeah.
so fake when they were yelling at each other. And then afterwards, they're probably having a beer together.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, like the wrestlers.
Oh, they probably are having a beer together and dinner.
Not right now. They're laughing.
And
They're
all
laughing
going
like,
to the bank.
look how much money we made from everybody.
Yeah, all of them.
I'm buying a new Rolls
It's all
Royce.
a work, man. It's all a work. It's like wrestling. You guys sit here and think that this stuff is real.
Okay.
It's predetermined.
No,
You know.
no,
I
no,
disagree.
not
Wait,
boxing. No,
predetermined.
no.
Are you telling me it's
no,
not
not.
real?
disagree.
Are you telling me it's
No.
not real?
No.
What?
It's predetermined.
No, I don't
You're out of your
agree.
mind.
I don't agree.
I don't agree either.
Don King started it.
All right. I want to go over some of these boxing subjects. All right, let's see. How about Lucas Mctise's win over Taran Karam? If you guys seen that, I almost think that guy went down. He just hit him with a jab. Matisse. I know he punches hard, but I don't know.
Wait, are you telling me that it was arranged and fixed? Oh,
I'm just contradicting what I just said. No, I'm
telling you.
I'm not saying it's prearranged, but the guy almost looked like he took a dive. I don't know. Not saying it's prearranged by the boxing, but by
Who
the
remembers
guy.
McNeely?
Yeah, Peter McNeely.
Yeah, but he fought in there.
No, he
Wait,
fought. He tried.
He tried.
Who was the dude? Was it Bruno? No, who was the guy that?
Frank Bruno.
Who was it? The guy that fought Tyson didn't even get hit. Joe Hip,
No, Bruce Seldon.
Seldom, and he
Bruce
just
Seldon.
fell down.
Oh
Bruce
my
Seldon.
God, that was ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's all. Come
you
on.
know what? A lot of Tyson fights were. I will give you that they were fixed. A lot of Mike Tyson fights were fixed.
All of
No,
that
think
stuff
about
was.
it. No, think about it. Bruce Seldon was a work. That fight was completely
Yeah,
a
that
work.
was.
What do
it
you
went
think
over
about
his-
that? Yeah, Michael Spinks to me looked like a work. Here's a guy who's
Maybe
a
he was
gold
scared.
medalist.
Maybe he was
I don't think
scared.
so, man. This guy's been fighting his whole life. He's a gold medalist, and it looked like he hit him on the top of the head. That to me looked a little funny. I mean, there's other fights.
I don't know.
too.
Tyson was pretty scary in it, but the Bruce Seldon one looked like he just.
He didn't
went
even
down.
hit him, dude.
No.
His hand.
I know,
flew
that
over
was
the
crazy.
head. That was completely not even touched.
Well,
I
this
just
one
think-
didn't look that good either. He hit him, but it was just a jab, hard jab. But I don't know if you guys look over this one. It wasn't the greatest fight. Matisse didn't look that good either in this fight. He didn't. The other guy was bigger than him. He was the biggest Thailand fighter I ever seen. He came in the ring at 160 pounds. Batiste wasn't looking really good, but then he hit him with a couple punches and the guy went down. So in like, I don't know, 6th, 7th round. So I don't know. It wasn't that great.
Does
fight.
boxing do steroid testing?
They
do.
They
do.
do.
They
Okay.
do that.
You know who's
testing.
really strict on steroid testing? The UFC.
Yeah,
They're
no.
extremely strict right now. Guys are getting popped left and right.
Oh,
They're
Well,
very
they have
strict.
to because you can probably kill someone in the ring doing that stuff. But
boxing too. Boxing.
Even UFC is starting to become fixed too. They're starting to do their wrestling antics before and after the matches, where they're trying to sell the entertainment part of it, and everything's a work, man. Even sometimes we don't even want to think about it. Even sports events are works sometimes. Super Bowl. Sometimes all this stuff.
I don't think that's
Yeah,
it's
there's
all
so many
done
people
for a
involved.
reason.
For boxing, it's easier because you only got 2 guys in the ring. But for what are you going to do?
Need
You're
the
going to
whole
have the whole
team,
team. You're going to have 60
No,
guys that
pay
are
the
going to work it.
quarterback
the
off.
star player. Yeah.
Pay
I
the
knew you were gonna
quarterback
say
off.
that,
The
yeah.
quarterback can affect the game in football
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
or baseball.
or defensive player.
I know,
baseball,
but
pay the pitcher off.
I don't want to go there.
Or
I don't.
the referees in NBA.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Remember
They're
Seattle
very-
versus the Bulls in the finals.
They're
They
very influential.
should have never won 7 games.
It didn't go 7. It went 6.
But it should have never went that long.
The Bulls
The
were
Bulls
up
were
3-0.
3-0, and then they
Yeah.
won 2.
We should have swept them, and the referees kept them in the game. That's all that happened. Happens a lot.
It seemed like that happened a lot in the NBA.
Yeah.
I have to admit.
Well, they want 7 games. They want more money.
They want-
revenue. The bars want it.
Do you think?
Everything out
Do you
wants
think
it.
it's
Everybody
actually
wants
fixed though, or do you think the NBA tells the refs, "Hey, man, watch this guy. Call this game a little closer," or do you think it's just completely a work?
I think they just sit down and because they want more money. So at the end of the day, when you look at the finals as an NBA, you're like, okay, I'm making way too much money here.
Yeah.
Michael's bringing in too much money to the NBA.
Commercials,
I
everything.
can't. Yeah, I can't afford to go 4 games. So they sit down with the refs and say, call towards Seattle, let the games go at least 6. So it looks a little bit realistic and that Chicago's still dominant, but that we still make our money. So then they make more money out of it at the end. At the end of the day, we have to realize that those two boxers that are fighting aren't only guys making the money. It's also the promoters and the other people in the back.
Everybody.
The casinos.
Everyone.
Everybody.
And everything.
Imagine the
restaurants,
gambling.
Well, I know
the
ours.
gambling.
Yeah.
I know the judging is shitty in boxing.
Oh, big
if you
time.
want to go
Terrible.
there, I
Oh,
mean, you know,
terrible.
Okay,
you know,
so here,
terrible.
here-
yeah. So
I'll
that,
even go
that,
deeper.
that'll- yeah.
I'll go even deeper into it.
Yeah.
Canelo Triple G.
Right. May 5th.
Terrible.
It's signed. It's
Terrible.
They already have that signed, but they already have told these guys before the fight, they already know they're going to fight 3 times. And they already know who's going to win each fight.
No,
And they tell
I
these-
don't think
okay, so who won the
I'm
first
not going
fight?
to go that far.
Triple G won the first fight.
I
and they-
saw he
Hands
won.
down.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
How come he didn't win?
because
Because they wanted a second fight. They want
They
more
would have
money.
got a second fight anyways because he didn't knock him out, and it was a competitive
They
fight.
want more money.
They would have got a second fight anyways.
It'll be in more demand. We're the 10% of the fans that know, the hardcore fans. There's another 90% of this world that watch it that will pay for it to see a second fight now that it's more interesting. So that's the whole point of it.
When you don't get a knockout, when it's not convincing like that, it still would have been a rematch. My opinion.
I agree. It would have been a rematch. The draw does add some controversy to it. It's boxing, man.
Boxing's not good for that. No.
It's
Wild Bill says, thank God for the hacked Amazon Fire Stick. I don't have to pay for any of the fights.
you know. To be honest with you, speaking of that, pay-per-views are down for everything.
Yes.
They're down,
awesome.
are they down for wrestling also?
Okay, there's a smart man called Vince McMahon that did something very brilliant.
Your bromance with Vince.
Yeah.
What did he
Man,
do?
you bromance.
What did he do?
I love you, Vince.
He got rid of the pay-per-views.
Oh,
He had
Here we go. Here we
Smart
go.
man.
So what did he
Smart
do?
man.
He created the WWE Network, and people pay $9.99 a month now to watch the pay-per-views and
Wow.
all the content. So if you want to see one of the pay-per-views, you have to watch the network and pay $10 a month to watch it. So now the guy's got, I think, and Wild Bill might know the details of this, he's got like over 3 million, I think, subscribers right now.
Wow.
And Wall Street was dumping his stock when he first did that, and now everyone is doing it. Everyone's creating networks. I wouldn't be surprised if boxing ended up doing it eventually too now. UFC already started it now as well too. And I think they're going to start pulling their pay-per-views, or they have them on both. But I heard rumors that Dana White is eventually going to pull all the pay-per-views away from pay-per-view TV, and you have to subscribe to the UFC to see the pay-per-views on there.
Everyone's stealing it these days.
Yep.
I got these young guys at work. They get on there. They get on like YouTube. They're able
Yeah,
to
you
see
can get it
whole
on the
fight.
internet now
Yeah, they get
everywhere.
on the internet and they watch the whole fight. So why are they going to pay $70, $80?
Yeah, that's why it's so down. It's just it's
Yeah.
out there, and it's like no, and that's why Vince, when he did the network, he knew that, and he's like, listen, we're losing a lot of money this way, but how can I entice people to pay me $10 a month? So what he did, and this is what's really good about this, is he ended up he owns all of the video footage for like the AWA, the WCW, ECW, and all those old wrestling. Like remember the Von Erichs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he even owns the video of that. So if you own his network, you can go back and watch Von Erich wrestling right now. So he's enticing people, saying, hey, I've got more stuff that you guys can watch. It's not just the pay-per-views, it's all this. And then he puts new programs on there as well, too. So
Did you watch that Ric Flair documentary?
yes,
That was great.
it was great.
I
It was
loved
great.
it.
I really liked it.
Yeah, it was good stuff.
How'd you like him as a wrestler?
He is actually my favorite wrestler of all
Oh,
time.
wow.
He was one of my favorites.
And then number
too.
2 is
Yeah.
Randy Macho Man Savage.
I
Oh,
love
Macho
I
Man
love the
too.
Macho Man too.
Yeah,
I
I'm a
love
big
Jake
fan.
the Snake also.
I like Jake.
Remember,
Jake the
there's
Snake
only
was
one
great.
Ricky Hatton. Remember the song he used to always sing? You're the one.
Yeah,
Oh,
Ricky Hatton, the
Hatton.
boxer. Yeah.
Yeah,
I used to
yeah,
sing it all the time.
yeah. I'm like, what is okay?
He was one of
Oh,
he was a good. I
remember.
liked him. He was one of my favorite boxers too. Lennox Lewis is my number one, anyways. But
He's
anyway,
the most probably dominant heavyweight in that generation there.
so what other fights we got,
All right.
or what do we got coming up?
Well, we got some talk. I don't know if this is. I think Lomachenko is favored for sure versus Linares, Jorge Linares at 135. What do you guys think about that?
When is that coming up?
No, they're just talking. It's not signed right now.
Linares is a tough guy, but
Lomachenko.
he's not at that level of Lomachenko.
Yeah,
I mean, Lomachenko's a special fighter.
and I
Linares
think you
is
got
a
to
very
start
good
putting
fighter.
them up against like top names now too. Lomachenko.
I want to see him against Mikey Garcia.
That would be
That's
good.
what I want.
see.
That's what I want to
That's
see.
the fight I want to see.
Garcia is technically sound. He never
He's
got beat up.
He's excellent.
Nobody
I'd love
ever
to see
beat him
that
up.
fight.
Garcia punches hard too. He can. I don't know. I think Garcia is the one who can. They talk about Linares because he's flashy. He has fast hands, but he gets bruised up. And I don't know. Even though Lomachenko started at 126. His fight be 135. But when I was watching the fight last week, Linares fight, Roy said that Lomachenko won his medal, his Olympics. He competed at 135. So I guess that's a weight that he can also be dominant, and he's used to it. So,
well, Mikey Garcia started at like 126. I
he
believe
did
also.
Yeah, Mikey Garcia started 126, and he was off for what, a couple years?
Yeah, he had that problem with Bob Arum and HBO, and he got out of that contract.
Right. Yeah. He was off. He didn't fight. We got some. Let's see. We got some heavyweight fights too. You guys like the heavyweights?
Not like
Shoot.
It's not like it used.
It's not
to
like
be,
it used to be, but we got Wilder against King Kong Luis Ortiz.
Wilder.
You know, they moved up Wilder so slow. So I always wonder, why did they move him up so slow?
Yeah, is there something?
Is there like, is he chinny? What's going on with him? That's a tough fight to pick.
I'm calling Wilder. Who else you got?
Probably favored Wilder, but King Kong Ortiz is no joke.
It's better
He's a
for
southpaw.
boxing if Wilder wins. He's an American. That's what they want.
He's up and coming. Ortiz is up and coming too, but he's an older guy who got a late start in the game. He's like 36, 37. He's like 37 years old for sure, easy now. And then you got the other big heavyweight fight, Anthony Joshua versus Joseph Parker. Now, I haven't seen a whole lot of Parker. He's like a New Zealand. But I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
I've seen him fight. I think he's a little limited. I mean, he's really nothing special. I mean, you got to go with Joshua in that fight.
I think Joshua is the real deal. When I first started talking about him, I'm like, well, he's a little bit raw. His defense is a little bit because he's offensive minded, but I think he's a real deal. And fighting that Klitschko fight, and that grow you. You fight tougher competition, you get better.
He reminds me of Frank Bruno.
Yeah, a little bit. Big muscular guy like that. Yeah, I think Joshua, he's something England's happy about, and I think he can be a real deal for a while.
Yeah, boxing's pretty big in England. If you look at England, it's like an event.
Yeah,
it's like going to a nightclub for them.
Yeah,
here it's not the same. You see these arenas; they're empty.
You got a lot in England, and it's a lot of the heavyweights too now that are like English that are down there. And then
talking about a good English fight, which I like. What's that? Chris Eubank Jr. is fighting the other guy who's really good. Who fought? He kept fighting Frosh.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
God damn it! Yeah,
yeah, I forgot his name, but yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about. That'll be a great fight.
Oh, Groves, George Groves.
George Groves. Yep, that's gonna be good. I'll probably take Eubank.
I'm a George Groves fan.
Yeah, how old is Groves?
He's not maybe 32-ish, I'm guessing. I gotta look it up.
Yeah. I didn't see Eubank fight a lot, but I'm a big George Groves fan. I thought he was winning that one fight against Frosh until he caught him.
Yeah, we already said the Canelo Triple G is set for May 5th.
Right.
So that's going to be huge.
What do you guys think about that one?
Triple G's getting a little bit older. Canelo's younger. I think it's a tough fight, but I'm going to go Triple G. What do you think, JackMann?
Well, history tells us usually when the younger guy fights the older guy for the second time off of a close fight, the younger guy prevails. I don't know if it's going to happen in this case, but something's telling me that Canelo might take it. Even though I think Triple G won the first one. I don't know.
I'm calling Canelo because, and I think we talked about this on the first one back, JackMann. Canelo now knows what Triple G has. I'm not saying Triple G is not going to train as hard or not harder than Canelo, but I think Canelo's going to literally train his heart out right now. And he's going to put everything into his training so that he can actually go in there and beat Triple G. Now, is it going to be maybe a decision again? It might. I don't think these guys will probably get knocked out in a round. It might just go decision. These guys are for sure going to 3. So no matter what happens, they're going to end up doing a 3rd fight.
I think this would be a difficult fight to bet on because let's face it, guys, if this fight's close, it's going to Canelo.
Right.
So that's the only thing that would worry me. I mean, if this fight goes 6-6, 7 rounds, to 5, Triple G, Canelo's going to get the. There's no way Triple G's going to get the decision.
I call Canelo, and then we'll see what happens in the 3rd fight.
I'm like up in arms, but something's telling me Canelo.
Really?
But a little bit, yeah. Even though I saw when they first fought, I called Triple G was going to win. Then when I seen this fight, something swayed me for Canelo. They said Canelo's riding the bike more. He's working more on his cardio for this fight. Because as you guys all know, watching that fight, that was a big problem for Canelo. He only fought 45 seconds of the round. He's a 26-year-old. Triple G's a 35-year-old, and Triple G pushed the fight more to Canelo. Canelo fights in spurts. He's an explosive dude. He's a real strong guy. He's got big muscles, but he can't carry the fight for 3 minutes. If he can carry the fight for maybe 2 minutes or 2 minutes and 15 seconds instead of 45 seconds, although when you attack too much, you're more open to get hit. So it could be tricky. It can be a dangerous proposition both ways. I mean, when you're aggressive, you're more open to get shots too. So it just seemed like Canelo's shots were hard, and he was taking Triple G's shot like I never seen anyone else take him before. Although
it was amazing. He never really got hurt that bad. He never really rocked him.
No, and I was surprised.
I was shocked also.
I don't know. Canelo's a strong dude. I don't know.
He's got a heavy hand.
Yeah.
He's got a heavy hand and heavy chin,
hand.
and he's coming in as a physical prime, where the other guy is sort of coming a little off his prime.
Yeah, I think Charlo will beat them both. I'm telling you.
He's real good. Yeah, he's a Showtime fighter.
I'm going to look at those odds, and if those odds are like plus 200, plus 300 Charlo, I'm putting money in that fight. Charlo will beat both of these guys.
What's your take?
Charlo's really good.
What's your take on Roy Jones Jr.?
He's fighting
Thursday.
He's fighting, yeah.
His last match, apparently?
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
My take on Roy Jones Jr., he's the greatest fighter I have ever seen. Like from the 90s on, growing up as a kid, teenager. But I think it's sad what he's doing now. Here's a guy who's arguably the best fighter, some people say, or one of the best fighters, and he's still fighting. The guy's 47. What is he, 46, 47, 48 years old?
Yeah.
I mean, they can't be paying him much at HBO. They're not paying him much. Why is he fighting?
I think he just loves fighting.
I think it's sad.
Yeah, I think it's
sad, though. Fighting. It's sad. At that age.
And they don't even know who he's fighting.
I mean, at that age, guys, it's time to hang it up. You were the best fighter of all time. You've been knocked out multiple times. You're tarnishing your legacy. I mean, he obviously made some bad decisions. He didn't put away his money the way he should have, and that's the reason why he's still fighting. Let's face it, if he was smart with his money, if he invested in his money, I don't think he'd be doing this. I mean, he shouldn't be fighting.
No, I mean, in the 90s.
What do you think, JackMann? Do you think,
No, he's 49. He shouldn't be fighting.
Yeah.
No. You know what? In the 90s, he was untouchable.
He was amazing.
He was amazing. I mean, there's some rounds where the guys hardly hit him. I remember Pezienza fight. He couldn't even do any. A lot of guys.
Look at his highlights on YouTube. One of the best highlights of all time, this guy.
Hand speed. Defense,
phenomenal. He was phenomenal.
I mean, in his prime, it was like men against boys. He was really, really dominant. And he was one of my favorite boxers in the 90s. And talking about going up in weight, he did it. He did it. He went up and he beat John the Quiet Man Ruiz, right? In 03. He went up to heavyweight. And he started out at what, 160? And then 168 for a long time, and then went all the way up to heavyweight. And beat a pretty good heavyweight. This guy was in there with, what's his name? Holyfield and a lot of guys. So, I mean, I give a lot of props to Roy Jones. He's one of my favorite fighters.
And he's a great announcer.
Really good. He gives the insight into the fight and what's going on. And he sees things that other people don't see, what's coming around the bend. He sees it. He knows what's going to happen. Right, Sammy?
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. Yeah.
All right, what else do we guys got for boxing? I mean, besides big fights, Triple G. Well, it's the monster mega fights, or at least that.
Yeah, I don't see who's coming up next. I don't know.
Nothing this weekend? Big, at least? I don't think there's anything big.
Nothing extremely big.
Yeah, nothing
No.
huge this weekend. All right, so I think we're calling it.
We're calling it.
Man,
Yeah.
we went
Yeah.
2 hours and 24 minutes,
Oh,
guys.
shit.
Wow.
So thank you guys for tuning in and listening. If you guys are listening to the whole thing, I may break the show down on podcast version to like hour intervals. But thank you guys for the questions. And it was pretty fun. I mean, we started at about 7 o'clock. We had the technical difficulties. And then we started at 7:10 on YouTube, but we started at 7 earlier. But we're gonna end up calling it a night, wrap things up, post this for the Facebook guys. We appreciate everyone's support. Please spread the word to everyone you guys can. Post us on your Facebook, on your Twitter accounts, so that you can tell all your friends. Again, please subscribe to our YouTube channel here. You can also subscribe to iTunes and give us a 5 on iTunes. You can hear us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Podbean, Overcast, TuneIn Radio, Stitcher Radio, Google Play. We're on Facebook and on Twitter. Our Twitter account handle is at Windy City, at WCSN 312. We changed it. It no longer is 3, so it's at WCSN 312 for the Chicago area code, the old school area code. See how we're slick like that? You can't even get 312 numbers anymore. See, it's smart. One of our interns, Tom Chris, told us to do that. And then we have, there he is. He's finally on camera. And then follow us on our Facebook as well, too, Windy City Sports Network. We also have an Instagram, which is the same handle as our Twitter, at WCSN312. And we can go from there. So other than that, I think that is all I got. Do you got anything to close, Sammy?
Until next time, guys.
JackMann?
It was fun.
I like the new mic. Sounds great with the booster.
Thank you.
Sounds perfect. Tom Chris, are you going to get us off air good? It's not going to mess up?
Love you, Chicago.
All right. All I have for you guys is I will see you guys on Tuesday, and then CSCR will see you on Friday of next week. Good night, Chicago. It is what it is.